Hi, my name is Akshara. I'm the ILJCL First VP.
Hi, I am Olivia from Massachusetts, and I was your 2025 to 2026 NJCL editor.
My name is Kai. I'm from Texas, moving to Illinois pretty soon, and I am your former NJCL parliamentarian.
Hi, my name is Ameera. I'm from California, and last year I was your National Communications Coordinator.
Hi, I'm Reesey. I'm from Virginia, but soon I'll be in Connecticut. And I was your former NJCL president, also your former CoCo.
Yay! Okay, well that makes the that's the first question. First up is for all of you guys. What made you take Latin or Greek?
I can
Do we go?
start.
Yeah,
Cool.
reverse order.
Very cool. So my school requires us to take Latin starting in seventh grade. My school is the seventh to 12th grade, and so I started taking Latin in seventh grade. And I think I got into Katamen first because my school has a very, I guess, competitive feel for Katamen, and I mean, Katamen also like really interested me, and specifically in the Roman history. Kind of, I was more focused towards that. And then in the next year, eighth grade, is when I first joined the JCL. And yeah,
For sure.
All right, I guess I'm next. It was in middle school, same thing as Olivia, and so my advisor is kind of like homeroom, but extension into middle school. She was the Latin teacher, so that kind of influenced me. And then I also went to like a Kurtaman tournament and kind of got carried, but I still like our team still did really good. So was really happy with that. So yeah, then just took Latin going forward.
Yeah, I was like a big fan of like Percy Jackson and all those like Rick Riordan books, and so I was like already kind of interested in like some Roman, Greek, Latin related things. Also, my brother, who's 3 years older than me, was already in the JCL and had been in the JCL for 3 years. And so I kind of knew like, oh, if I do Latin, I can also be in the JCL too. And I remember like we were talking because I was like, oh, it would be so cool if I could like talk to my brother in Latin and then like our parents wouldn't be able to know what we're saying. And then like I realized that they don't actually teach you how to speak in Latin, and also if you do, like everything like sounds similar to English sometimes. So like if we want to talk in front of our parents and say like mater, like I think they could probably figure out what we were talking about. But I was like, why not? Like it would be fun to like communicate with my sibling in that way. And then I joined like remote. I was sixth grade was like fully online for us, so I kind of just showed up to these like Zoom meetings and we played Kurtamen online, and a lot of my friends joined too. So it was like just a bunch of fun.
That does sound really fun.
For me, I started in sixth grade, and I was taking Spanish, from K through five, and I wanted to try something new, and I didn't want to take French because people started French in fourth grade, and so I thought I'll just start something brand new. And it was super fun. I really remember I did like a Latin summer camp, I think. I forget when. Um, and there was like an after camp book club. And we read Brando Brown Wants a Dog in Latin, and I loved it. That's where I got the idea to do Legamus, which I ran as Coco. And then I took Greek in high school, because it was another class offered, and I really liked Latin, and I said, maybe I'll like it too, and it was also super fun. So yeah.
Oh my gosh, I literally also started Latin like early too, and I keep like expecting people to say like they started in ninth grade, and then there's so many more people who started in middle school. It's so interesting to me. Like it's not that common in IL, but everywhere else it's really common, so it's interesting to hear. What is your favorite NJCL convention memory? And the one after is your favorite thing you accomplished as an officer, so don't make them the same thing.
I guess I can go, and we can maybe go more like
It
back.
was like open forum style. We go like back and forth.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Gosh, I have so many convention memories. I think I have a very like strong memory from uh UT Knox. Um where like when you figure out what happened for Coco, but I think the one that I remember the most, Miami, okay? Because one, Mr. Compton, who helps with a lot of election stuff, he's from Miami, so he like super hype, loved playing the fight song. But for That's Entertainment, the officers from 2024 to 2025 had a scene with this Jello container. I don't know if anyone's seen it. It's on the YouTube page.
No,
And
yeah, I
we
know what you
made
mean.
the Jello in the dorms. And we were walking to film the scene because we were doing office theme, so we put the torch in Jello. And we were supposed to keep a straight face, and Felix walks up and he pulls the Jello up, but the Jello had melted from walking from the cafeteria to our building. So the Jello just like
Ooh,
and we just started laughing. We just were dying laughing. Um, so I think that was probably one of my favorite convention memories for me.
that makes so much. That sounds so funny. Oh my gosh.
So funny.
Yeah, that was such a funny skit to watch too. It was like hilarious. I love The Office. Um, anyways, my favorite NJCL convention memory is from I used one from like last year. I haven't been to a lot of NJCL conventions, um, but the one I liked from this past convention at Indiana was the at the end of That's Entertainment when they just started like playing Bohemian Rhapsody and like we all had like a sing along. It was really like fun because I don't think anyone really like planned it out and that's what made it like really special. It's like nobody really knew it was gonna happen. We all watched a like really wonderful rendition of Bohemian Rhapsody, but like in like related to like Rome, and so it kind of got us all hyped. And then like we had this giant basically like karaoke party. And there was like people like dancing on stage, and everyone had like their flashlight out, and it was just like a very, I think, very like telling moment of like the JCL about how like we're all like willing to like jump in and do like whatever, like it doesn't even matter what the activity is. And it was a lot of fun because it was kind of towards the end of convention too, so it was like all wrapping up. It was very bittersweet. So
Yeah, for sure. You know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of back in last year's convention, Miami, I think. Yeah, it was Miami. Where like the audio on the video wasn't playing, and so like the
Yeah,
entire
Oh,
that was
everybody
like my
put out
favorite.
our
That was my
audio.
that's like my favorite convention memory. Like when everybody just started reading the subtitles.
yeah,
So
no, that was
funny.
awesome.
That was
So
really cool.
freaking funny.
Okay, like Ameera, mine is from this past year, and it's actually from like WASOC finals. So for context, our team was like mostly like slashers, so we were not expecting to make it very far. Like this was, and for like our sponsor, this was her first NJCL, so like we've never done this before. Um, we get to the semifinal round somehow. It's all brain rot questions. So then we move on. Like we're locked in on the brain rot. And then in finals, we're getting kind of destroyed. But on the last toss up, it goes like toss up 20, and then I buzz in and get it. And that was because like the whole premise of the round was the answers in the first half were tied or were like paired up with answers in the second half. And so on toss up one, I got so mad that Joe G, the Parli, outbuzzed me that come toss up 20, I remembered the answer. And then I got that one. So yeah, that's probably my favorite NJCL memory.
That's Pete. Wait, what was it? The answer.
It was well in toss up one it was like psi, like the Greek letter.
Hmm.
Like you know how like the IU it like makes a psi?
Yeah.
But like that was like the toss up one, and then toss up 20 was like psi like PSI, like the abbreviation.
That's really funny.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm going to take you guys back to my first convention in Emory University. So
What?
there was a scavenger hunt so people or teams go to different places around the university to take pictures, and then at the end you get like a little prize. And so I did it with some of my friends and some katanas, and in the end we got matching pairs of JCL socks, but those pairs of socks ended up being a curse because whenever we wore them to like a tournament rounds, we would lose.
Do you still have the socks?
Yeah, it's somewhere in my room.
You should like wear them to something you're really good at, so then when you win, it's like you're like breaking the curse of the socks.
Mm, perhaps.
Okay. Then your favorite thing you accomplished as an NJCL officer.
Okay, I'll start this one. This past year, I loved meeting just with the group of editors at my editors meetings. It was really cool just talking to them and seeing what they're working on, and also doing some team bonding activities.
Yes.
Yeah.
Um, I guess we're going in reverse gavel order. So for me, um, I don't know. I guess I have a couple things. I am kind of happy of like a couple things I added to the campaign corner. Like I added like the little tips, the section on AI and like the flow chart at the start. I thought that was pretty cool, and also just powering through the Canva of it all. But I think my favorite, I guess, experience I had as an officer was during my colloquium, and I asked them like Parli Kurtaman questions. We two of the teams tied at the last question, and then one team they missed the last bonus, so it was a tie, and then they challenged it. So then me and like Sarah and Mr. Compton were like desperately trying to like come up with questions to like break the tie, and then in the end, I think it's still disputed to this day. So we don't even know who won.
That's really funny.
But that was, I remember the open forum question that was like, ask a
Yeah.
Cortana style thing. So I'm trying to like imagine a whole round of that. Um, for me, I really liked making the fall planning meeting vlog. That was just like a really fun thing to do. And it was like so weird because we filmed it like at fall planning meeting, but I didn't edit it until the summer. So it's kind of like it was definitely like the timing was probably not planned very well, but like I liked looking back at like the fall planning meeting. It was kind of fun to like relive it while I was editing all the footage. And it got me like super hyped for nationals because like I was like remembering all the cool stuff that we saw on the Indiana campus, like the bowling alley and the like dining hall food. I was like, oh, this is like I'm getting so hyped right now. And then it was just fun to edit it together and like I just really enjoyed my favorite part was like putting the sound effects over it, like when there was like a hurricane warning or something. Like they were I think they were just testing the system because there wasn't actually a hurricane, but like or tornado or whatever, like but it was just funny to like add these like random sound effects because all the footage is like scattered of different like kinds of vibes. So it was like funny to put like sad sound effects over like the hurricane or tornado warning and like funny ones when we were like literally just running across campus.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
I
that was
love like
really
editing old things, like looking back at
Yeah,
things. It's so
it was
nice.
fun.
The video is fantastic, Amir. I love it.
Thank you.
I think there's so many fun things about like getting to be an NJCL officer. I think one of my favorite things I accomplished this year though was Epistolai, which was our pen pal program. Just because like throughout the year I would always like check them and things to before I pass them on. And you got to see like pictures of like animals and their pets and you could hear they were like talking about college and stuff like that. And it's really cool that you're able to build that community throughout the year through like something that I dreamt up and I planned. So I think for me, that was one of my favorite things I accomplished this year.
It's really cool. See, I would go look at the website, but so I'll have a moment of silence for the
Really?
website.
I went to
When
go
the new one's coming. The new one's
I
coming
went to go
already.
look and I was like, where to go? You can
It is
actually still access everything. You just have to know the exact like URL to put it.
it's very
Oh,
fortunate that I already have like the contest thing bookmarked because otherwise I'd
Yes.
be like so sad because then you can't look at it anymore. So
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
also the QR code, have that bookmarked.
no, the QR code thing.
The
moment of
generator.
silence
Yeah,
for
the
that.
Wait,
generator.
somebody might need to send that to me actually. I
Alright,
want to
I
find
have
that
the link. I
bookmark.
can send it.
Okay.
I got you.
Okay, that leads us into what is the biggest similarity between being an NJCL officer and a state JCL officer, and what's like the difference? So compare and contrast.
Okay, so I was Virginia JCL secretary. They changed it to CoCo recently. And so there are some similarities of like you both do board meetings, you still take minutes and stuff like that. And then I think some of the bigger differences, since I went from secretary to communications coordinator, I also had the ability to work on the website, and that was something new and fun. As well as just kind of the reach that you have is bigger, right? You have a lot more states and stuff like that. But I ran a lot of like similar programs, like I ran Legamos on both, and it's just like they're both really fun. And so I think the biggest difference is just like difference of duties because I had different offices and then difference of like scale. But that's me.
Yeah, I would say something similar. Like I was the California State Secretary. We separate secretary and webmaster, so I was only doing like minute stuff, and then like just creating like documents. Like I did a board contact sheet and letterhead, and it was. I definitely think the range of stuff that you can do on the national level is a lot bigger. I didn't really realize how much like if you just want to like do something, you can go ahead and like make it happen. There's like not as much like restriction, and they kind of encourage that more. On the state level, I think I just primarily just stuck to like just literally just taking minutes every meeting, but I thought there was so much more like on the national level. You also get to like talk to a lot of state officers, which is like a lot of fun. Like to meet with them, or I got like a lot of emails from people that were like state officers, and I got to talk to them. So I think it's just like more people, to be honest, like a lot more interaction, and like it would be kind of interesting like to relive my state officer years knowing everything I now know being a national officer, because I feel like it gave me a lot of confidence to go and like just like do something if I wanted to do it. Like if I wanted to create a vlog, I could just say like, hey, like let's create a vlog, and then like looking back, I'm like, oh, I wish I'd done more stuff like that on the state level. So I would say like honestly, like it's just the kind of like vibe of the office. But like if I were to like say to like my state officer self, I would be like do more of that like fun stuff, and like do more like initiatives while you're not taking minutes. Because I found a lot of fun doing like the website contest or all that like other stuff that NJCL CoCo can do. And I just wish I'd done more of that on the state level.
Definitely something to think about for like other people who might watch this as state officers. Like,
Yes, go
think about
do
your
go do
reach.
fun stuff.
Yeah, nice. I was TSJCL Parli before NJCL, and I guess the biggest similarity is you're overall doing the same stuff. You're looking at the Constitution, thinking about amendments, running election events, contacting all the candidates, all that similar stuff. But the difference is kind of like in, I guess, the time frame that you do it in, like, you know, what order you do things in, like the kind of precise nature of them. So like TSJCL, we're on a very different schedule for amendments because we have different times when we meet as a board to like approve them than for NJCL. Or like another example is TSJCL, the officer or the candidates can actually switch after nomcom, but NJCL they switch beforehand if they to kind of even out the offices a bit. And I guess one more difference is in TSJCL, it's much less of a specific role. Like, yeah, I was the Parley, but there's a lot of other stuff I did. Like, we talked about like designing the T-shirt, and we did kind of all this stuff. But NJCL, I felt like my role was much more specific in terms of the things I was doing.
That makes a lot of sense. I feel like at the state level, it's more fluid depending on the number of officers you have. So
Yeah.
duties are kind of shuffled around, but on the national level, it's very rigid, I think, which makes sense.
Yeah, I agree with what everyone has said. I think for me, I had a bigger change because I was originally a Massachusetts state historian and then switched to NJCL editor. And so in that sense, the duties are different, but we still had similar like design things that we did, and similar to what Reesey said, same board meetings, we attended those. I think one large difference is that at the NJCL, you do get an advisor, which keeps you more accountable of your duties, and there's also always an adult that you could go to for help. Whereas in the state level, it's kind of just the state chairs managing all of the offices, so they might not always have time.
Makes sense. Okay. What's your favorite event at national convention? I feel like I could guess some of these, but I'll hear anyways.
I think for me, I really enjoy the mixes. Just any type of mixes. Like this year, they were so different because this year we played Mafia in a lot of the mixes, and then whereas last year in Miami, we like I think we mostly just talked and stuff. But I think mixes are my favorite activity. Yeah.
Okay, get ready to be confounded, y'all, because my favorite activity is not Kurtamen, it's Candidates Open Forum now.
Oh, well, that makes
And
sense.
so like it's just I think it's like the last election event, and you've been kind of campaigning the whole week, like really pitching your case. And Open Forum, you just kind of let it out, you just have fun, and then leave nothing on the table. And it's also really fun to be writing the questions as well and be on that end of it.
Yeah. Wow, I'm so shocked, Kai.
How could I betray my
How could you
Kurtamen?
betray Kurtama?
Kurtamen's second. It's second.
Okay, I figured. I think it's similar to Olivia. I do like the mixers. I also like if yeah, I'll give my second favorite. I do like the mixers in Mafia, but my second favorite would be the Agora, because it's just fun to like see all these like different things that people are like selling, and it's really cool. I spent like so I went to one virtual convention, and then Miami was my first like in person convention, which was my first like Agora experience. And I spent like way too much money. Like I got home and my mom was like asking because she like sent me with some cash, and she's like, "Oh, do you have any left over?" And I was like, "No." Like I literally spent all of it. Um, which was maybe like a mistake, but like I literally just like anything that I saw that was interesting, like I was like, yeah, I'll buy it. Like I remember there was like somebody selling, I think it might have been Ohio, or Illinois. I don't know, but they was like it was like the gobble gobble like t-shirts or something. There was like a big turkey on it, but like all I remember is that they were like on the last day selling them for like $1 each, and I bought like 5 different
What?
shirts from them. Like
I got one too. I wanted
so
one.
now, like I don't even know.
Single-handedly funding
Like I just
Midwestern JCLs.
yeah, I just started buying like everyone's things. I got these like I gotta see if I can find them somewhere around here. But I got these like little chicken like crocheted chicken things because I'm really into sacred chickens. I'll see if I can find it. But that's like probably the favorite thing that I bought there.
Peak. Mega peak. Okay, then here's a fun rapid fire one. Academic tests or graphic arts?
Academic test.
Yes.
Mm,
Graphic
Yeah,
arts.
really? Oh, really?
Oh, shocker.
academic test, but I didn't take any last year. Because I was
You were
busy.
busy. You were
This
busy.
past year, I like creative arts though. I did some of
I
those.
like creative arts. That's my favorite event. I love dramatic interpretation.
Let's give
I've
some love to
memorized. Go ahead.
let's give some love to graphic arts, guys.
Olivia.
Graphic arts. I think it's really fun. This is my first year doing graphic arts in a couple years, and I thought that was very fun.
Wait, how
I
many
got to see.
conventions have you been to?
I've been since Emory. That was my first convention.
I don't know how many that is.
So it's 4,
So
right?
I did
It's
4. That was my
okay.
fourth one, and then I have all my state ones. But
I did get to see graphic arts registration this year. Like when they were like not even like the showing, like when they were all like writing down their stuff because I was
Oh,
like
in that
bored.
like
we
basement
saw the
room.
showing, Olivia and I,
Ooh.
when we were gonna pick them up, and everyone's art is just so
It's so
good.
good.
I highly recommend
Yeah.
that you should go to graphic arts like viewing.
Yeah,
So
viewing is
peak
really
ball
Yeah.
fun.
knowledge is go to the registration because then you can go talk to like the artists and like ask them about like what they created because that was also really fun. I was like, oh my god, like I'm meeting the person that created this like beautiful masterpiece. I saw shout out to the guy that made this like wooden map that like also lit up and it was like some weird like it looked like the laser wood carving thing and I was like, how did you even get this to convention? It was like this giant map board. It was like so cool. I was like, I don't even know this was like in the extensive nature of like human creativity. I could never have thought of making this.
Super cool. I am not super artistically inclined, but I went last year, not this year, but I did go last year to like with my friend and I got to see all the art. It was like, whoa, it's so good. It's so cool. And then another fun one, Ludi or Spirit?
Spirit.
Spirit.
Okay. On the one hand, I've never participated. Well, no, I have Ludi. Specifically Ludi chess.
Oh,
Of course.
Ludi chess.
Well, Spirit if it's Silent Spirit because TSJCL we locked in on Silent Spirit this year.
I remember. It's great.
We were doing like the Macarena. It was like it's Silent Spirit, mind you. We were just like
all the energy.
What
in
is it like? What is it like watching your JCLs do Spirit? I feel like it's just so funny because you're like, oh, those are my people.
It's so fun. One of my
Olivia and I
favorite-
were in the box, like in the secret candidate
Yeah.
meeting.
Yeah.
It's like
I
we
saw
were just
y'all.
watching all the states do Spirit.
No, the best thing is when you get to do Spirit with them because you grade,
Oh,
but you
yeah.
have like a lot of extra time. So whenever I'm on the stage, I'll like go over to Virginia, do their cheer. I'll go over to Indiana, and I did it with them as well. And it's just really fun to like get to learn everybody's cheers as well. And Wiscos, I learned Wiscos last year, so it was fun to do that one too.
Yes.
I loved California would like give me their props like every day. Like one day we had in and out hats. One day we had like the flags for the Indy
We
509.
had the same
Um,
flags.
Yeah, well everyone had
Yeah,
like
yeah,
checkered
everywhere.
flags. We had we had just like all sorts of little props. I think for the purple and gold we had these golden wreaths, and they would just like give me stuff to go wear on stage. And Mr. Wagenhart let me, so I was like, yes.
I think it's really funny when like states have similar like things for Spirit. Like I think that during Spotlight, literally everybody did the Dynamite chant. Like
Not Texas.
every
Not Texas.
good
We're
for
unique.
Texas. Because it's because you have so many people, you couldn't get them to all coordinate like boom Dynamite.
Dynamite.
Okay, which convention so far has been your favorite that you've been to?
Oh.
I love Miami. I think like for me, I love that experience so much. Mr. Compton was so excited. I got to spend so much time with my last board and do a lot of sillies. I got to meet this board, which was incredible. Um, I know, it's just one of the greatest experiences ever. And at the very end, I got to know that I was the president, which was like a dream of mine, and it was so crazy. It still was it's crazy to me that I ever got that experience, but like I don't know. It was very funny and it was just like a lot of my favorite memories are from Miami. So I think for me it's that one.
I liked everything about Miami except for walking 45 freaking minutes to GA.
It was
My
so
feet
hot.
It
were
was an
done.
experience
God.
getting there
And
and
like Illinois does Assassin. Like we played like, Assassin, you tap on the back of the neck and you're dead. We played Assassin. It was just like running. We were just running the whole time. It was so bad. Oh my God. But
Yeah, the heat was bad too. I was
Yeah,
like,
especially for Mir and me because we were in like suits the whole time.
oh no, don't
ooh,
even. Yeah. I bought
Yeah.
literally new dress shoes just for like Indiana because my ones from Miami like did not have any padding on the bottom of the shoe and I was just like felt like I was just walking on bare like concrete at some point. I was like, I
yeah,
can't
we
do this
need
anymore.
more socially acceptable formal wear for next year, guys.
No, I'm like I need to be able to walk and I don't want to carry my regular shoes with me. I would say my favorite convention was like this past one, Indiana. I haven't actually gone to a lot of conventions. So like my first one was when I was in sixth grade, which was like, oh my God, like 2021. And that was supposed to be in California, by the way. I was so ready. But COVID and all that happened. So it was like online, which was like really weird. And I still like got to experience a lot of stuff, but I was also like in sixth grade. I didn't really know anyone like in the JCL and I was like low key just doing my own thing. Miami was a lot of fun, but I was getting like overwhelmed by the amount of new stuff because I was like that was like my first like I would consider my first like actual convention and I was also running for office which was like a whole thing but I feel like Indiana was like the first one where I was like oh like I can finally like enjoy and like experience all this. It was also really fun because people would like actually know who I was and like would want to
Oh
come and talk to
yes.
me, which was like super exciting, like especially doing like the scavenger hunt, like having people like run up to me like can we do your task, can we do your task, and so it was just like I felt like it was a convention where I could kind of like fully enjoy the experience because I wasn't like stressed out too much about anything, and I also got to like see so much from like the officer perspective. Like being on stage during GA is like another experience. Like to look out and see everyone, is like it's super awesome feeling. So I was like, this is like it's also like probably my last NJCL as a JCLer. So I was like, gotta make it count, right?
Yeah.
Wait, you're gonna be a
Okay.
senior next year, right?
Yeah, but I might like there's like a probably 90% chance I won't be able to go to convention next year. So I was like in case that happens, which is like might be likely just because of them like scheduling conflicts. I'm like I gotta like lock in for this one. Yeah,
Yes.
I'll be back though as an SEL. But
JOINSCL. All
is
right.
that a chant?
yeah, there was a
Oh,
pairing last year to
Yes, I
Hot to
remember.
Go.
Yes, yes.
It's linked in the torch.
Oh,
that I sent you, Olivia.
yeah.
Okay. For me, I guess I'll be a contrarian and say UT Knoxville. It was probably the convention sure, it was the convention I had the most fun at. I enjoyed all the others, but that convention was the most fun because like the Kurtaman team, we essentially had zero literature. So on all the literature questions, we just like YOLO it, and that was really fun. Um,
Julius Caesar, sinner, Cicero, Catullus.
Cicero. But that was really fun. I also got to meet a lot of cool people because I was doing Parli stuff and going to all the election events and like TSJCL Parli. So I got to meet like Alden and all the candidates, including Reesey because she was a candidate then, and
Ooh.
also some cool like I got to like walk from Ludi Chess to like I think like open form or something, and I was just like chatting with like Chris Sharma. That was like a surreal experience, and like William Shat, like all these like super cool people, and so yeah, that was really fun.
I can see how that would be fun. Just heard so many horror stories.
Yeah,
Oh,
for
the
I've
you.
heard them too.
campus, it was very hilly, and I like that
There were a lot of hills. I do
You
Heck
remember that.
liked
yeah.
that? Wait, what?
because I wasn't wearing a suit all the time, so it was like you know, it was nice.
Okay.
Oh,
I
here's a
low-key
fun
couldn't
one.
find the arena.
Sorry?
The UT Knoxville arena was always under construction.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I remember that.
I feel like all the college campuses that like I've seen, like because I did college tours, like they're always under construction. Like
Oh
they're like
yeah.
always seem to be renovating some part of their campus. I think there was someone in Indiana too. Like there was like a detour place where they were doing like construction
Yeah,
sites.
next to the dining hall.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
It's
yeah.
because there's always room for improvement.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Growth mindset.
Ooh, here's a fun one. Do you want to shout out a JCL bestie or someone you admire? How about sponsors?
I can shout out.
Keep
So
it short.
one,
As national officers, you probably know a lot of people. Just keep it short.
general JCLers, y'all are the actual best. I still think it's insane when y'all come up to us and you think that we're really cool because you guys are like so freaking cool in my mind. But I love to shout out like our mentors. We had mentors, so for me, like I love Mr. Wagenhart is my absolute like I love Mr. Wagenhart. I still text him. I love Chris, who was my CoCo mentor. I also still talk to him sometimes. Boo, my bestie Boo. As well as like Mr. Compton and like the whole rest of the board of directors. Like, I love you guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah, shout out everyone in the NJCL. Like meeting the other officers was like really cool. And I love like the new board too, because I'll still be like I know some of them too, because they're like in my grade, right? So I love all of them as well. I'll give a quick like sponsor shout out to my middle school and upper school sponsors because I go to a school that's like K through 12, so it's like the same school kind of. My middle school sponsor just got her silver bowl, which was like super cool, and I got to be in the video. Miss Masoni, and she's like super dedicated to the JCL. She's like on our state board, and she does like judging for the website contest and like all these national level things. And she's been to 20 conventions, which is insane. And then shout out to my upper school mentor, Mr. Patterson, who actually was my sixth grade Latin teacher. He used to teach sixth grade, and now he teaches like upper school too. He like was doing both at some point. So he was like my first Latin teacher, and now it's going to be my like last high school Latin teacher. But he's like his classes are always so fun, and he's like really good at teaching and like getting people passionate about Latin. So I've had a really good experience with my teachers, and I credit them for my JCL involvement.
Um, for me, I'll try to go really quick. Kind of opposite of Ameera, I want to shout out Miss Hayes. It was her first NJCL this year, but she went to it, and we all had a great time from Lhasa, small but mighty. Um, Shout out to all my Latin teachers and people who have helped Coach Kratalman over the years, and my officer mentors, TSJCL, NJCL, and also all the people from like Texas and other states I've met over the years.
Shout out to the current officers and the past officers, and shout out to my past mentor, Mr. Turner. He's resigning, but he has helped me a lot with all of the publications of the Torch and just asking any questions to him in general. And shout out to Mr. Wagenham, Mr. Knowles, and shout out to my fellow Massachusetts JCLers, and shout out to my mentors, Mr. Howard and Ms. Mogel. Have helped me a lot throughout my time running for office and also being my teachers at school.
Yes.
Is
Okay.
there anyone that you want to shout out?
Ooh, what'd you say?
Is there anyone that you want to shout out?
Everybody I met, my seventh grade and eighth grade Latin teacher, Magister O'Connor, my current Latin teacher, Magister Halverson, whose job is under fire from the district. Stay strong. And everybody I met this past convention. It was great. Too many names to list, but you guys are all great. Okay, we have one question about being state to nationals, but we kind of already talked about that a bit. So I'm gonna skip to the next one, which is also fun. Did you guys study any other languages in your high school careers or currently?
I am learning Dutch on Duolingo. This is really like strange pull. And then I am going to be taking ASL next year, so
Sick.
it'll be fun.
I have not studied any other languages, but I do want to learn more languages. I want to do like a classics minor in college, but if there's ever like an opportunity to study other languages in college, like I want to do like study abroad as well. So maybe I'll learn like, I want to learn like Spanish or French because I feel like a lot of people speak those languages. And I also actually want to learn ASL. My mom's like deaf in one ear, and so she's learning it as well because it can help with like if your hearing like decreases over time. So I was like, oh, that could be fun to learn. So I know there's a lot of online courses that you can take, so it's on my bucket list.
Yes.
I'm gonna avoid saying like Python or Java, and I'm gonna talk about that one time. Like, and this is not like any formal education. Actually, it is somewhat. So my Latin teacher, Miss Hayes, after the Latin AP exam, she kind of like started teaching us all like a bit of Greek, and
Ooh.
so then over the summer I just like grinded Greek, and so I could play Agon, and
Oh,
um
so fun.
that that team what the hell great team. But yeah, learning Greek was really fun along the way and had some great time.
Oh, yes. Did you take the Greek language test?
I did. So when I took it right after studying Greek, I think um I got like an 80 something, and then this year I took it after like a whole year without doing it, and I got like a 50. So it kind of declined a little bit, but I'm hoping for like a parabolic trajectory because I'll be doing ancient Greek next semester. So
Oh, yes, yes, yes. My thing was like there was so much vocab on the test, and I was like,
yeah,
no,
the vocab was a grind for sure, but
it
the grammar stuff is in my opinion more fun than Latin.
was so much. It is so fun. They have like 7 tenses. It's like so freaking cool. I
No
love
ablative, best
no
part.
ablative. I love it
I
there.
love the ablative.
They still have the dative of agent. It's
Yeah.
great. But I could talk about grammar. Anyways, Olivia?
Yeah. So I've learned a bit of Japanese, and at my school, I'm doing like a linguistics Olympiad thing, and there's like
Club?
minority languages on there. So I've witnessed like some languages from South Africa and parts of Asia and like Native American languages, and it's really cool. Yeah.
Wait, do you do NACLO?
Yeah, I do not glow.
Oh, sick. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Okay, fun question. We kind of know this one, so we can make this one a little, But what are NJCL board meetings like outside of like really fun? How do you guys have in-person meetings outside of nationals, and do the number of those increase leading up to Nats?
Yeah, I can take this one. So, boarding is super fun. Like you said, we have fall planning meeting, which you saw if you watched our vlog. And it's changing a little bit this year, I believe, but basically we go to the campus, we see the campus, and then we do two big meetings. The first one, we go through the entire convention schedule, and that is what Boo would usually run, but now Mr. Knowles. And we would go through every day, make sure it all fits in. And we have that day. And then the second day is usually when we'll talk about things like amendments, general other things that we have going on. We split and we have our committee, which are like the adults meeting, and we have our own meeting where we'll usually start talking about dance themes, spirit themes, coin craze, TE, and just kind of like all of that. And then we come back together. We have spring planning meeting, which is online, and usually you'll split apart, but we did it all together this year. And it's very similar to the second day of fall planning meeting where we just kind of talk about whatever we need. We were supposed to have a meeting in December, but we didn't end up needing it. And then as we got closer up to Nats, what we did, we had one more meeting which was optional where we went through the program. So I went and we went through like every single page saying, "Oh, can we add a link to this? Why is this over here?" Kind of making sure that we're all ready to go. And those are our meetings like as a whole board of directors. Us officers met up every single month. And the main thing leading up to nationals, we had more specific things that we had to cover in the meeting. Our June and July ones, I think, were pretty long on the agenda just because we wanted to make sure that we were ready to go. And those all happened online. And if we had extra time, we would dilly-dally. I always said Mafia for Ameera, and we never played it, and I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. I had so much fun playing Mafia at convention. Like I think I played it so many different times. We played it at my colloquium too. It was just a lot of fun. So.
I want Mafia to be like a thing that happens at every
I
convention.
know. I'm
I
saying
love
we need like a
Mafia.
Ludi Mafia or something.
Ludi Mafia.
Ludi Mafia!
Olivia.
ILJCL and
As opposed to competitive Mafia?
Ooh, Olympic
Ludi Mafia,
Mafia.
first place. Ameera.
Oh yeah, I once tried to be the jester, but then I got like it was so funny. We played it at my colloquium, and I was assigned the jester, which is like the person that tries to get out. And usually, I'm actually very good at like being suspicious because I talk so much. People are like, "Oh, we should get we should vote you out.
There's a
But then
LARP.
for some but then for some reason this round I kept actually guessing the mafia right. Like I would accuse random people, but then they kept actually being the mafia, so nobody thought I was the mafia. It was like so stupid. And at some point, like the person running the game just like said, "Can the jester wake up?" and just looked at me like, "What in the hell are you doing? Like, why are you so bad at this?" Like I was like, "I don't know. I keep guessing right." I love mafia.
You have to figure out your strategy for
I
LARPing. Like
know.
there's a strat. You have to
I think I
like
should have been quiet. I think I was
pinpoint it.
too loud. Like, who
Okay,
else is
what is your favorite memory with a Latin teacher?
Ooh, I have two for this one. So first is so at the Miami convention, my teacher, my last year's teacher, Mr. Howard, he got his silver bowl, and so we were all clapping for him, and I couldn't be with the Massachusetts people. I had to do it on stage, but it was so cool because I was witnessing like everything on stage because I was doing my candidate speech that day, and to see him like from the back. I think, wow, that was like really cool. And my second one was editing my speech last year for editor, like at midnight with my sponsor, Miss Morgal. Shout out to Miss Morgal. We pulled through. We pulled through.
Oh yes.
um I don't know if I have a super specific one at the moment, but just playing World Series with Miss Hayes was really fun. And cuz she's like Gen Z, so like we were both on the same wavelength when it came to the brain rot and all of that.
Ooh
So
yes.
Yeah, I would say I have a lot of fun memories from like Latin class with Mr. Patterson. Like I've had him like all 4 years of high school at this point. And especially in like the post AP Latin class, which I took one last year and taking one this year, like they tend to be like a little bit of a smaller class because there's no like set curriculum really. We can go off on a lot of tangents, which is like always super fun. Like we were watching like we did like the Pyramus and Thisbe, like that was we got to like I got to teach for a day basically like a passage. It's like one of the assignments, and I did Pyramus and Thisbe, and then like at the end of it we watched like Midsummer Night's Dream, like that like scene. Um,
oh,
yeah,
That's really
so it was just
fun.
it's like a lot of
Snug
fun. We
the
were watching.
Joiner.
Yeah. And we also like got to watch like that. I don't know if you guys know High Paws, like the dude that like his like head is just like in the like frame, and then he like sings, and he like I don't know. It's just so funny. You should definitely check it out. His YouTube channel. I remember I think my teacher discovering that like for like the first time, and he was like so shocked. He was like, "What is this?" Because I think it was like yeah, I want to say it was like the first time he had ever seen a high pause video, and we told him to go look up them, and then he like watched a bunch of them, and it was just like funny because he was so like weirded out by the high pause. He was like, I've never seen this before, and it was just a funny experience because we were all like singing along with his wonderful rendition of like probably like whatever noun endings.
I know exactly what video you're talking
Big high
about.
pause.
Like halfway through, he like doubles himself, so he's like upside down.
Like
I really like
he,
Hypog.
you should look at his like editing style or something. Something about it is just magical.
It was so good.
Amazing.
I think one of my favorite, I have like two, but the first one is with my teacher, which was on the very last day that we had classes before we went off to do our senior projects. I came back into the Latin room and I had a big bin of stuff. And it was all of the books and things that I had taken from the Latin room throughout my 4 years. It looked like I got fired, but I was going into the building, which was really weird.
Your box of
Um,
stuff.
and so like I bring it in and it's like this big and like we're just like looking at it. And we did a lot of like some of it we were actually like we translated just for funsies. And then a lot of it was just like reflecting on like the past 4 years or 5 years being like, his student and just kind of like how far our Latin group had come that like I really always remember that, and I think that that was really sweet. And then another one, not with my Latin teacher, but with Mr. Ben Johnson. Every single year I get a picture with Ben Johnson and a signature from Ben Johnson.
Oh yes.
And this year at convention, when he got his award, as he was leaving, he turned and he started talking to me. And I thought, like, that's insane that Ben Johnson knows who I am. And so that's
Gotcha.
also a very strong, like, memory that I have.
This is a very big flex of mine personally. When Ben Johnson mentioned hexameter.co, I like screamed because hexameter.co has been like my lifeline.
That was
And
like
nobody else was screaming. And then everyone started screaming. And Ben Johnson looked at me and I was like, That was like amazing.
No, because my rating's going like down on hexameter.co, so I didn't screen.
What? I love
You're not
hexameter.co.
locked in.
It's like sacrilegious. Like you have to we have to lock in on hexameter.co.
Yeah, I do have to lock in. I'll do some like Greek scanning or something.
I did so much hexameter like the day before the AP test. Like I should have been like going over translations or something because I took AP this year. No, bro. I just literally like I was like, oh, I'm still studying. And there was like one scansion question on the whole test. It was so stupid. But you know what? It's okay. Ooh, fun one. What was creating the officers TE skit like? And I'm assuming it was at fall planning meeting. So, favorite memory from fall planning or spring planning?
So the TE skit actually came together at convention.
Oh,
We started thinking about what we would do at fall planning, and we continued up until the very first day of convention.
nice.
I think we
where
changed the theme
we changed the theme.
the
Sorry,
day
guys.
before we
We
did it.
changed the idea of the skits on the first day, and then we planned them always at like midnight or 11 to midnight or beyond
Chris.
midnight.
Post midnight.
Because we were
Post-midnight.
doing stuff all day long, and we
Yeah.
filmed it on I think Thursday because that was the day that the video was due.
Right.
Nobody asked how late I stayed up that night finishing that video. But yeah, we did a lot of filming like after officer meetings, like in the middle of it, a lot of writing late at night. And that's kind of what it was like. We were all really tired for most
Yeah,
of
it was like a fever
Yes.
dream. And I remember being on the stage and we like did our skit and then we like all stood up and took our chairs and walked away. It was like so funny because we were all like trying not to laugh.
I was like biting my tongue for most of it, like, because when we were filming that video, it was like we would go like 5 seconds and then I would start laughing. So I would
No,
just
we
have to
kept
like bite
messing
my
up
tongue the
that
whole
video.
Yeah, we kept messing
So many poopers.
time.
And this kind of goes sort of hand in hand. Favorite memory from fall planning or spring planning?
Ooh, we went and we got nail polish. Like we walked to like a Target or something near Indiana. Like this was like on the last day or something, and we low-key just like stayed up. Like I attempted to paint my nails. It like did not turn out very well, but we all like did purple and gold nail polish. And we were
Amazing.
just like low-key just like yapping like way too late into the night. And I remember like I was like so scared for some reason because I was like, oh shoot, my like PSAT is in 3 days, but I literally could not care less about it. PSAT still went well, and my nails were looking fly, so
Heck
all
yeah.
worked out.
Correction to Ameera, 6 out of 7 of us did it. But
Oh, Kai
fun
abstained.
memory for me. Fun memory for me is we went to this Thai restaurant or something at fall planning meeting, and I ordered like the spiciest dish, and I think I chugged like all the water and like all the milk. It was so, and they were like taunting me. It had like a little smiley face on it, and then I took a bite, and it was just so spicy. It was
Yeah.
crazy.
First
think we have it on video.
First mistake was going to a Thai restaurant and then not requesting like no spice because it's
Yeah.
still gonna be
I
spicy.
think the hubris caught up to me there.
Yeah, the
Right.
waiter was like looking at him like, "Are you sure?"
White kid.
I just have the most
It's gone better.
vivid memory of when we went for fall planning. And basically, we went to the CVS because we wanted to paint our nails, but we were
Right.
running late on the way back to go to a dinner. And I just remember Ameera is like starting to get there. And I'm walking pretty fast. And there's like everyone's walking. And
I think we
were
just started
getting there
running.
on time. But that was really fun. And then also my birthday was on Sunday, so the day that we flew back. And so all of a sudden I was like sitting there and then the waiter like brought out like a tree and everyone's singing to me. And so that was like a really fun memory, and the officers sang really late into the night because it ended up being the 5th. And like
Oh, it was like midnight that we did it, right?
Yeah.
so
Or like
that
12:01.
was like really, really fun. I still have it's like totally ripped up and everything, but like the happy birthday thing that was like stuck into the food.
Oh,
Oh, that's so cute.
that was a fun dinner.
The photo shoot was also fun.
Yeah.
Oh.
We spent way too long.
Oh my god,
At least like 2 hours.
If
But
you
just
ever
like
see-
5 minutes.
Have you ever seen the one with the star that we made with our hands? You don't not know how long that took us to figure out. Way too long.
It's hard to coordinate. I feel like I did that once at a shopping mall with one of my friends. Like it's difficult. Not
Yeah,
one, like five, but still.
yeah,
It's
we
difficult to
made it happen
coordinate.
though.
Yeah.
Woohoo. What is your favorite thing you have learned about NJCL history or the NJCL in general while in office?
Wait,
So
Liv,
I'll
yeah,
go
go
for
ahead.
this one. I've been reading the convention history. Miss Susan Xie, she
Oh,
came in contact with me and she gave me like all of the convention histories from the first convention in 1954, and it was just surprising to see like the numbers increase in terms of people. There was about like 400 people there when it was first held in 1954 to the amount of people that we have now, but also the cost, the inflation is very crazy. The first convention was like $5, and now it's just like thousands.
guys, you gotta bring that
Yeah.
back.
But yeah, it's just really fun to reading through that.
No,
For
I
sure.
agree. I read through the NSCL history today, and it was super, or the past couple of days. It's super fun because I got to see like Mr. Compton and Boo and Susan Chu and all these, and Mr. Ward when they were like younger. Um, and no, it was like uh, the registration was $1, but if you do the inflation for now, it's $10, which is actually more than the cost for NSCL. So that's something really interesting. But also just like JC Love, I I think that's always like something that's so interesting to learn about when it comes to like a lot of the adults, because a lot of them are like they met and they were all Latin teachers, because Latin teachers and Latin teachers always like, and it's I don't know. I love it. I think that's really
They're
fun to learn.
so cute.
This is not like a specific bit of history. It was like I didn't even realize this. Like I had like my CJCL email, which had been used by past like secretaries, but then when I got to NJCL, like it goes back to like 2010, like the CoCos from like way back when, and like every email, like you can see emails from like decades ago, and all their files are like still in the folder. So like sometimes when I'm bored, I'll just go and like I'll see like videos that they filmed like a while ago, or like random documents. Like at some point they were talking about like the JCL Facebook, like they needed to post something there, and I'm like, that's so funny to me because like what? Um, I found an email that was like, can we get this up on the JCL Facebook? And I'm like, that's so funny because now like you would say like, oh, can we get this on the Instagram? Like I was like,
No
I
one's
didn't even.
JCL Facebook.
I think we still have an active JCL Facebook. I found something somewhere, but
Amazing.
but it was
Yeah,
just so
that's
funny
so
when
real.
the officers were like, hey, let's get this up on the Facebook or whatever, and it goes back like super long time. And so I was like, wow, it's like super cool that we're all using like the same, it's like the same email address, and so everything in there is like literally so much NJCL history of all these past officers. Like everything they've worked on is in that drive.
I agree. Like it's so cool to like look through like even the first CP email because I see stuff from like 2018 or 2017 and like someone's going like, dude, you didn't send me the thing."
Yeah, it's so funny to look back.
Really funny.
I think one thing that's really cool is looking at all the past amendments from the years and seeing like all the debates they were having in like 2003 over like just all these like different things. And so yeah, I think that's really cool.
It's really cool. Um, Ooh, is there a former NJCL officer who directly inspired you to run?
Ooh, Jenny Chen, she's a Chen.
The Chen torch.
Um, the Chen dynasty for NUCL editor. But I think my first convention was when Jenny Chan ran for NJCL editor, and all of us, like people who were in middle school, were all drawing Jenny Chan, she's a 10 on the floor with chalk. That was really fun, and it was really fun to see her run. And yeah, and I've talked a lot with her about like her experiences and stuff, and yeah, she was an inspiration.
I think for me, Monet, another editor. But my very first convention, she was the editor from Virginia, and so that was just really cool to see. And then, for the second time that I was running, all of my fellow board members at the time, as well as just like so many cool presidents, like, and Olivia had this too, when I won, President Nolan Heinrich, who was the president at Emory, DM'd me. And I was like, I had never felt so cool in my life. And then he commented when I said the theme and was like, I love the theme, and I was like, oh my God. So I don't know. I feel like there's so many officers, but my very first one, Monet, my goat. I love Monet.
So I
Yeah.
didn't go to like a lot of conventions, so I didn't get as much exposure to like the NJCL officers before like I ran. But I was like really lucky because California's had like one officer on the board for the past few years, right? And I was like very involved on my state level before I got really involved in the national level. And it happens that they all went to my school, which was like really interesting. So it was like Rupert was like the first one of the consecutive lineup or whatever. I didn't know him as well, but he was like close to my brother's like grade, so I kind of knew him. Um, then there was Trisha, who was like the historian a couple years ago. She's my goat. And then I knew Felix better because he is like 2 grades above me, so like I was like overlapping with him in high school, and so he was also a kind of inspiration. And I think I felt more comfortable like running, knowing that like people from my school had like done it before, and it was like possible. And then also shout out Reesey because I went to a lot of her group meets before I ran for CoCo because I was like really confused on like what to do because I'd never been to an in-person convention, and I was like, oh, like what is like NJCL board like? And so low key, like sometimes, if there weren't a lot of people on the like the Zoom call, like we would just be like yapping about like the different projects and stuff. And I was like, oh, that sounds like a really cool role. And so like it's like I might as well try to run for it, and then I guess it all worked out.
Yes.
For me, probably like Joe and William Zhao, even though he didn't win, he still ran. And so just like Kurtaman people running for NJCL office, and it's like you can kind of do the Kurtaman and then also be kind of more involved with the I guess like running things behind the scenes as well. And also Alden because he has so much aura.
Yes. In tribute Alden. That was great. Oh, now we get oh no we don't.
No.
They'd be like individual questions. Wait, no, there are a few more. We kind of already talked about previous state and local offices. So, if you could go back and do one last thing for your term, what do you think it would be? You can say something silly.
I think I would host more of the group meetings. Like I was kind of discouraged at the beginning because like nobody would show up to them. It also is like kind of hard because like I'm on a different time zone and like my availability ranges later into the evening, but then like later into the evening means like very late into the evening for East Coast people. And so like I started like not hosting as many. But then like when I showed up to convention, like we had a lot of CoCo candidates this year, and there was also like so many people that like showed up to my colloquium. Maybe they were just there to play Mafia, I don't know. But like low key, like I wish I had like held more of those meetings because like I think they would have been really fun to have throughout the year. But I will be at this year's CoCo meetings whenever they happen. So I think there's one on Saturday or something. And so I'm gonna pull up, even though I'm not like a secretary or webmaster anymore. I just want to pull up and see if there's some people I can talk to and try to, go back and do more of that.
Yay! Yes, it'll be fun.
I guess I can go next.
Mm-hmm.
I would want to do another like parliamentarian Among Us Mafia meeting with parliamentary procedure because I wanted to get like cutthroat like amending something previously adopted like division of the assembly like call for the previous question limiting debate like I wanted to get cutthroat and nasty so yeah.
Heck yeah.
I guess I can go. I think I would have done something like more silly, like sleep more during convention, if that's possible. Or like I feel like spamming our group chat more just like randomly throughout the year, just something like silly. Because I looking back, like I am pretty proud of what I did, but yeah, definitely maybe more like random spams, more photo roulette, guys.
Guys, I love photo
Roulette.
roulette.
Photo roulette.
On
Yeah.
average, how many hours of sleep would you say you got at convention this year?
Ooh.
I'm curious.
Between like
4 to
4 and 5 a
5.
day.
45. Yeah.
Oh, we're on the same wavelength.
Yeah, that's kind of I never slept like with my lights off. Like sometimes I would just like fully dressed in my
We
suit,
were
just
fell
like
asleep during one of our meetings once.
Yo, I
yeah, like
thought
we were like on FaceTime trying to plan something, and like I was for some reason I don't know if like this was the same in your dorms, but like I couldn't heat my dorm room, and it was like so cold in my dorm.
it was so
Um,
cold.
I was freezing, and so I was like, oh, maybe I'm just gonna go like get the blanket from my bed and just like lie down and like listen to this meeting. And I closed my eyes, and I never woke up until like a couple hours later, and I was like, oh shoot, like I think we finished the meeting because nobody's on the call anymore.
Yeah, we just let
Um,
you sleep, and you look so tired.
I know. I was really exhausted. And I kept getting like hungry at random times. I think like the whatever time difference, like my stomach was not ready for that, and neither was my sleep schedule. But it was like fun, like low key, like just surviving off of pure energy. Like it's a vibe.
I thought 6 or 7 hours was bad. That's crazy. Holy
No,
moly.
no, it was pretty bad. Like sometimes I was just like taking showers at like 3 a.m. in the morning, just like quietly sneaking off to the bathroom because I would like fall asleep in my suit like as soon as we got back, and then I would be like, maybe I should not be in my suit still. Yeah.
That's crazy.
I
Okay,
think, yeah.
go ahead. No, go
Answering
ahead.
this question, I think for me, definitely more bonding, like Reese said, but also more fun for JCLers. So I guess like this year, I am trying to do that by creating like virtual vision boards and kind of like creating like a publication of what the JCLers aspire to see at the national level and also kind of like their goals for the JCL. Yeah, I think that would be fun.
Yes, President. Yes, President.
I'll be there at all the social events too.
Heck yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. And do you plan to stay involved in the NJCL or NSCL?
Yes. I have my Bass Pro Shop National Senior Classical League on today.
Oh, yes.
But yes, I do. Both NJCL, NSCL, and ACL. So
Hey, can you tell them to fix the website fast, please?
Yeah, I'm like so sad. I'm like, where'd it go? Where'd it go?
go to the NSCL website. We're still
Is
going.
that still
We're
up?
actually
Yay!
updated. So
Me and
Yeah, I
Mom,
still.
we were like in
Yeah,
mourning together. We were like mourning
I
each
know
year
they
when
didn't
he
even
ran.
warn us. Like, there was no
Yeah.
warning. There's no.
I
This is gonna go
texted Sarah
down.
and I was like, dude, did you see that the website's gone? She was like, yeah, it's under construction. I was like, bro, they could have told me or something.
Yeah, I got jump scared. I was like, oh, where'd it go? I still also am going to be involved in the NJCL for another year. I'll be around as like I don't know a member. I'll be like unemployed basically, but I will be at all like the events. Like you'll see me at like Las Colia and everything. And of course like helping support like the new board and stuff. They're very cool. I love all of them. And also they may I don't know. I have to email somebody about this, but they might let me join some committees and stuff. I think like for like graduating seniors, a lot of them get invited to join like their corresponding ACL committee. So I know there's one on like communication, and so I think if I like pay $20 to the ACL, I can be on a committee or something. We'll
Woohoo.
see. Even if that
Committees.
doesn't committees, I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out how to still stay involved, or like maybe run like I have like some kind of foundation set for some projects that I worked on as CoCo, so I can help like make sure those get put through. Um, just because I'm around for another year. And then, yeah, I do plan to be involved in the NSCL once I graduate. It'll be very omniscient. Yay!
Heck yeah.
Um, yeah, I'm planning on doing STL stuff and still pulling up to conventions in the future. We'll see how many I can go to. Um, uh, yeah, okay, should I say this? So
What?
I had like a dream last night where I was in like SCL at NJCL convention and I was doing like all these random tasks. So like I think I'm like preparing, like mentally for it.
What kind of tasks?
I was like, so I
Golfing.
really wanted to like be a Kurtaman moderator, but that's not what LCL does. So I didn't get chosen for that. So I was kind of bummed out about that. So then I think I just went and like wrote the ear or something.
Heck yeah.
That's fire.
move on.
Fine.
You're manifesting.
Olivia, are you gonna stay involved in
Yeah,
the
are you gonna
No,
stay
I don't know. I
involved?
don't know. Am I? Am I? Well, I'm sure now NGCL president, I will stay in the NGCL for another year
Hopefully.
and hopefully. And then next year I will be joining NSCL. Yeah.
Woohoo. Yes. Okay, now we have super fun individual questions. I'll go like one, 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 one. Kai, what made you decide to become parliamentarian, and what's your favorite part about being Parli at both the state and national level?
Okay, so yeah, so I first ran for Parli at TSJCL, and I think I wanted to run for board just because I had known a lot of people that got on TSJCL board, and like I respected them a lot, so I was like, I want to try my hand at this as well. And it's also like I had kind of just been, I guess, coming off the heels of like doing a lot of Kurtaman stuff, and I wanted to kind of ease up on the Kurtaman a little bit. And so I went to the Constitution to look at what each of the officers does, and I feel that that was kind of a premonition of what would happen in the future. Just that instinct in me. But so I looked through all of them, and I was like, I would probably want to run for parliamentarian or secretary. But the problem was for secretary, TSJCL has this weird thing where we have some offices are elected and some are appointed. So
Mm-hmm.
secretary's elected, but parliamentarian's appointed. So for secretary, the filing deadline had already passed or something, like the pre-filing deadline. So I was like, well, looks like I'm not doing that. So then I applied for parliamentarian when it became available, and then um, I got really into like the Roberts rules and all of that, and I just kind of wanted to continue doing stuff like that. So then I decided to run for NJCL office after my TSJCL term finished. Um, and then my favorite part about being parliamentarian, or like my favorite parliamentarian thing, um, I would, I don't know. I mean, I think just kind of like um, all like the Constitution stuff and like um, Robert's rules. It's like it's kind of a learning curve, but once you get into that, it can be like very like you can learn about like a lot of like shenanigans people can pull, and like you can like I don't know, just write a bunch of amendments, which is super cool. That it's like you go back reading the Constitution and you're like, oh yeah, I remember when that was amended. Like, yeah, just stuff like that, I guess.
Definitely. Oh wait, oops. Okay, hold up, guys. I'm on low sleep. Reese, as former president, you have experience with running nationals. Which position on national board do you think does the most, like at Nats in state delegations?
So like which state
Yeah, like which
position?
state position does the most at Nats?
I want to say, and this is similar to the national board, I think that 2VP does a lot because their role, a lot of it is in leading up to nationals. They have to, for the national board, they have to pick the themes or they get to pick the themes and coin craze and all of this and all of that. And for all of the states, you guys get to create the themes. And of course you don't, or like what cheers you're going to do related to the themes. And of course you don't make all like the props and stuff by yourself, but every night you guys have to figure out like how to teach everybody, how to remind everyone to go to service and all of that sort of a thing. So I want to say a lot of it I would put on 2VP. Behind that, I would say Parley, since you also have specific roles that are at national convention, but I feel as though a lot of Parley's jobs are at their individual state conventions, most of it.
Amira, what was it like reading that very, very fun, amazing speech as Coin Wars punishment at GA?
Oh, yeah, it was so awesome. It was actually because I really enjoyed it also because it was kind of one of my ideas for the punishment when we were all like discussing at a meeting earlier, like what should the coin craze punishment be? We were kind of like stuck because we didn't know, like, because something like last year was singing, but like that wouldn't have been a punishment for like Reese and the people that sing, right? So we're like, oh shoot, like what do we do that's like gonna be embarrassing for whoever's doing it, but also is like reasonable. And we're like, why don't we because I know one of the other questions is who wrote it. I'm pretty sure it was just Mr. Wakenhart.
Yeah, Mr.
We
Reagan.
Nice.
so we just
He's
told
plugged in like that? Nice.
yeah, I might have been some AI. I don't really know how much of that was like just him, but I remember we just said like the committee, like all the adult committee members could write it, and then I found out, like I think from Chris, that only Mr. Wagenhart had a role in writing it, and I got kind of scared because I was like, oh shoot,
Yeah.
nobody else has read over that and double checked that it was okay. I liked the fact that it was like somewhat Roman related because I was just scared, like I didn't know what it was gonna be at all, and then I almost lost it when it said to start mewing. Like I was actually keeping it like mostly together. I was like, I try not to laugh because I was like, nobody wants to stand up here and watch me just like break down on stage in laughter. So I'm like, let me like concentrate. Like my voice was like totally shot because like I was like talking so much that week. So like I sound like I'm dying as I'm reading it. And then I get to the part in it, like we have a picture of like what it says, but it says like slap your forehead and then start mewing dramatically and like move your finger down your jawline. I saw that. Like you could see it. I showed my mom the video of me reading it, and you could see me process the line and then realize like, oh shoot, it's like so over. Because I forgot that we told them that we could incorporate like physical movement into it as well. But I mean, I think it was a lot of fun. I think hopefully people like felt that that was like a good enough punishment for
I
the
think
point
it
where
was a great
It was
yeah.
punishment.
so funny.
It was good. It
I
was
think it was
good.
I think they should do it again next year. I feel like that's like a good punishment that can like be even new every year. And it's like good for the officers too, because like you don't even know what's coming. Like it's like
I was
yeah.
scared. I was talking to Mr. Wagenhart and I'd be like, have you done it yet? And Mr. Wagenhart was like, no, but I know exactly what I'm going to do. And I was
Yeah.
like,
I
Ominous.
didn't
I was
I
like,
didn't
okay.
understand part of it too. At some point I was like, what does this mean? And I looked over at him. I'm like I don't even understand what's going on here anymore. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. Core memory for sure.
Core
I love that
memory.
they took photos of it too, of the silly hat that Sophia made me wear, like the sun hat. It was so ridiculous on so many levels, and it went from that to our farewell speeches. Like 2 minutes later, like the contrast was so
Whiplash.
The emotional, like,
that whole GA was just like an emotional roller coaster for me. Like it was wild.
For sure. Okay, Olivia, which edition of the NJCL Torch that you published was your favorite?
I think I like my winter issue the most. I think it was the first issue that I've created on my own, so I've gotten some experience with the platform Zumag and stuff. And I just really like the color theme. It was really pink and red. And yeah, I just really like the color theme and also like the style of the fonts and different things I used. But yeah.
It was gorgeous.
Very
What
I
cool.
font do
love
you
seeing them
dream
every
in?
single time.
Yeah, what font do you dream in?
What font do I dream in? Like sans serif, the regular font.
No,
It's so
no,
bad.
you're not. You don't
It's
dream in a
so
sans serif font,
bad.
Olivia. No.
No, it's
It's
okay. I like
silly.
Times New Roman.
I okay.
Times New Roman, no,
I'm
No,
No
not
it's
way,
called
mad.
I'm
But a
like
sans
no.
MLA
serif
type.
font.
I dream
Oh, here
in
it is.
Georgia.
Oh,
Like
I
fun.
like Georgia. Georgia's
Wait,
nice.
yeah, Georgia's like I think Reesey did this,
Georgia's
but
cool.
in our email, like the
Oh,
email
Garamond.
font. Did you change it to Georgia? Because the email font in the Coco email is like Georgia, and then like when
Oh,
Angela
Coco
opened the
might have been
email,
Georgia. I know President's is Garamond.
yeah, well
Yeah.
Coco's is Georgia, and then Angela like opened the email and was like, oh my god, it was meant to be your font is Georgia, and I was like, yeah, I don't know, I think Reesey did that, and I just like kept it.
I love that. Um, okay. Oh, I can go back up now. This is great. Um, Kai, what's your favorite amendment you proposed at Nats? And your favorite one
um,
you've ever come up with? If they're the same, that's like okay.
okay, so at Nats, it might be a bit biased because only one of the amendments actually did end up passing. So I feel like I might be somewhat obligated to say that one. Um, but no, screw it. That was the better amendment anyway. The one that ended up passing, in my opinion. Because I feel like the one that and for reference, this is the amendment that said that kind of abolished the restriction that NJCL officers cannot simultaneously hold state office and kind of turn that over to the states. The other amendment, the problem with that one was it would allow people to hold office consecutively. And so we were in the board meeting, we were kind of talking about like when that amendment was getting like proposed, like we were like, oh, how can we amend it? Like, do we want to do like just two years max, or do we want to do like you can be from the same state, but it can't be for like president, for example, or something. And we were just but we kind of just like um put it out without any further restrictions um in hopes that the JCLers would say like what they found to be I guess least favorable about it. I don't know. My favorite amendment that I proposed probably ever it would be one of the TSJCL ones. Well, the TSJCL one I proposed this year about like and it was just like I think clarifying a couple of the webmaster duties, but it was so funny because that was the only amendment at our state convention So when our TSJCL Parli Ronnie, when she was reading out like the amendment at the final GA, like did it pass or not? She was like, and the amendment passed. And then I just went crazy, and then everybody else in the audience was just like sitting there like this was the most boring thing ever. So I think that was just because of that circumstance, that was probably my favorite like amendment uh thing that I was ever involved with.
Heck yeah. I can see why. Ooh, this is a fun one. Reese, what was your biggest challenge as president during naps?
Okay. I have like a logistical one and then like a general. Logistically, eating. This is like really weird, but like eating lunch. Because there were so many things that we wanted to do. Like I would go to service project. We wanted to do NSCL, so we went to a lot of GAs. And so I would usually do like 5 minutes or less lunches, which were like
Oh.
insane. Like I went down, I ate, and I left. So I think like logistically, like that was probably like one of my biggest challenges. Um, but like non-logistically, I think it was just like for me being president was so important and like doing this is my final NJCL and it was like really big. I wanted everything to go so well. So I think one of the biggest challenges was just like being okay with things not being perfect and just kind of like going with the flow, and always being able to adjust and like change and like accept when things like were a little off. Like one time our podium book, we had something in the podium, but it was in the GA5 podium book section and not GA4. So we were flipping forward and then we're
Oops.
flipping back. And that was a little silly, but in the end it was all super fun. But yeah, biggest challenge was probably eating lunch.
The eating thing is so real. I think the strat is genuinely to just like take the fruit. Like I took so much fruit from the cafeteria. I had like a bag full of like apples and I would just take it around. And one time I was like in testing, like going to testing in the morning, and I had an apple from like yesterday and I didn't have time to eat because I woke up late. So I was just like running testing and I saw this girl and we didn't know each other and she was like, dude, I'm so hungry because we started talking. And I was like, oh, do you want apples from yesterday? And we were
Reesey
just
love.
sharing an apple and I like bonded with this girl from
Oh,
Wisco over this apple. It was great.
Yeah.
Um,
No, I relate. I was like eating Reese's like Cheerios or something
yeah,
at like
yeah.
11
One day
p.m.
and I think I gave Stella food
Because
too. We were all
Because like for some reason all the convention dinners are like super early, right? But then you have to consider that that's even earlier for me. Like so like a 5 p.m. convention dinner is like a 2 p.m. dinner for me.
Oh.
And so like I was like in the first few days when I was trying to adjust, I was like so hungry and like I remember at some point like Anshu's friends brought like Raising Cane's over because they accidentally ordered too much and I almost like started crying over this chicken nugget that they brought. Like there wasn't even any sauce or anything. They just like handed us like a napkin of chicken nuggets and I was like, oh, this is so good. You don't even understand. Like I didn't even realize how hungry I was.
oh my gosh,
Yeah,
our
kids.
sponsors had so much food during fellowship. It was so good. I like actually ate so much during fellowship. It was amazing.
Yeah,
Like that was
fellowship
dinner.
dinners are the best.
That was dinner,
Yeah.
bro.
The vending machine was it kind of locked in for me later in the week,
Yeah,
I
I was
will
scared
say.
of them. I heard they were like taking people's money and stuff, so I was like, uh-oh.
I lost like
One of them
$5
worked. One of them worked. At
Okay.
least one.
at
At
least
least
one.
one. That's good.
All of the campus, one vending machine.
Scary.
Ooh, Amir, I have a fun one for you. What is your
Ooh.
favorite California JCL tradition at Nats, and what are your thoughts on Calabama?
Love Alabama. Shout out. Like I didn't realize the guy from Alabama was like not. It's I think Audie. I think he's the Alabama editor, but he was like hanging out with us a bunch, and I didn't realize he wasn't from California until like a couple days in. I was like, oh yeah, wait, I like follow you on Instagram, but I think you're from Alabama. So I think it's cool. I love California so much. Shout out to us. I love California girls. We always have to do that. That's like a fun one. My more like heartfelt California tradition is something we do like on the last day of convention. Like they're giving out the awards and we ate pizza. And this is like started by Miramonte, which is like the largest, I think the largest chapter of JCL. And they do something where they read like this passage from Horace called like Exegi Monumentum. It's like it's like a I don't know like a couple line passage. But I remember it's basically just talks about like a structure that like is more lasting than all these other things, and it's like this really permanent thing. And it's like it's mostly talking about like poetry and like Horace is talking about his like his writing is very strong, and so we use it kind of as like a metaphor that like Latin is the structure that is like lasting beyond everything else. It's like you should look it up. It's like Executive Monumentum. I'm just paraphrasing it right now. I have like the translation. It's like I have built a monument more lasting than bronze, and loftier than the royal structure of the pyramids, which no biting rain, no wild north wind can destroy, nor the countless series of years in the flight of ages. So it's just kind of like a nice representation of how like the JCL and Latin are still like ever present in our society, and how they will last forever and ever. And I was like, that's so sweet, especially like going away from convention when it feels like, oh, this is like this moment of JCL is like over, but like it's not really, because it's like going to continue on. So I love that we always read that passage, and that Miramonte shares that tradition with us at CAJCL
For
Fellowship.
sure, that's really cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Okay, Olivia, do you have a favorite article that you've written or included in the Torch?
I think in the summer issue, I wrote an article on Roman cuisine, and it's just very interesting to see what the Romans ate at that time. Like they ate dormice and flamingo tongues, which were quite obscure, and also to include a session for this or that to see what JCLers think of. Like the question was, which of the exotic Roman foods would you want to taste? And a lot of them said garum actually, and actually the second most popular choice was flamingo tongue, and that was very interesting to see. Yeah.
I just always remember, if anyone reads the CLC, like the Grumio scene where like they're eating like, what is it, peacock, and it looks literally
Uh,
like potato chips, and they're just like it's just like a core memory for me. Like that's what I think of when I think ramen cuisine.
Heck yeah. Okay, we're going back up. Kai, what is your favorite Kurtamen memory? What do you think the biggest difference between Kurtamen at Nats and State is?
Okay, I'll say the answer to the second one first, so I can stall for the first one because I already said a Kurtamen memory. But the difference between state and Nats is just kind of like, um, oh no, I need to go into low power mode. Anyway, the difference between state and Nats is just like Nats is more spread out, so you have a full day to see like, okay, these are the people I'm playing against, and then you there's also the live stream videos, so you can like spy on everybody and then like get super nervous about like, oh no, their literature player is like really really good. And then um yeah, and national and state is just more like fast paced, because state of, at least for TSJCL, it's all kind of like done in 2 days. You do prelims the first day and then finals the next day. So there's a lot less like, trepidation between like rounds, especially between preliminary rounds. And then my favorite like actual Kurtamen memory, and not was sock memory. Let's see. I have so many. Probably I'll just say a memorable one. I don't know if this is my favorite one, but it was my novice year, and we made it to nationals, and we actually made it to the final round, which was like super cool. Then we start like falling super behind to Massachusetts of all states, and then we get, but like somehow I get extremely lucky on some buzzes. Like I buzz in ridiculous spots, but then I get super lucky with my answers, so we're able to kind of bring it back to a tie. And then it's toss up 20, Massachusetts 135, Texas 135, and then toss up 20, and then Florida gets it. So then we end up going into a double tiebreaker
Gosh.
before Massachusetts ultimately wins, which was kind of
Oh,
sad. But you win some, you lose some.
Heck yeah. All part of the experience. I have a sub question for this one actually. Okay, this one's asking about tips, which is a good question to ask you, but I'm actually wondering how early did you start studying? 'Cause like people start like a month in advance, or were you like studying in March? Like that's a question I have.
Um, for which nationals? For this one?
For well,
are you still
well, I
already
feel
studying
like
for next nationals?
There's no more Kurtamen studying. I'm retired.
whichever the one you studied the hardest for was.
The one I studied the hardest for, um, probably this year, to be honest. And it it really was like the reason was I was just like I had so much senioritis by the end of like senior year that I had done like a little bit of studying, like because obviously we had like area and like state and whatnot. So one day I think before a local Kurtamen tournament, I just read through like all of Nikhil's Aeneid guide or something, and I just like crammed that. But like besides that, I hadn't done a ton of studying. But then like in preparation for nationals, um I think I started like late May, early June. So it would be about like 6 or 7 weeks, unironically.
Good to think about. And then, of course, some tips you have.
Oh, some tips. Um, one, one tip I have is, um, I mean, you kind of have to establish like early on, kind of like how serious you want to go, and even if you are going like studying really hard, like you're really trying to lock in, like you do want to still like have a lot of fun as a team.
Definitely.
And so it's just like, you know, come up with like very like we had a lot of like inside jokes in our Kurtamen team that like throughout the summer. I think like one of them was like the disdain I had every time there was like a Silver Age author, I was like, oh, this Silver Age. And then it was just like just all these different things. And to because Kurtamen is a lot about knowing the stuff, but it's also just about like, staying calm during the round. And so if you can, just have fun, stay calm, you'll go very far.
For sure. Okay, back to you, Reese. What is the best part about being the NJCL president?
Oh, there's so many things. Um,
It's a hard one.
the main ones that I can think of is like first just like getting to be the NJCL president. Like for me, that was something that I didn't even know that I wanted, but it's been like a dream of mine since the start of my JCL journey. And I still remember like I got home and I held my gavel for the first time and I was like on the floor in my room. I just started crying. Like I was so happy. And so I think like that's one of the best things, but I truly the best part is how many people you get to meet and that just know you. I remember at National Convention this year, I was signing in for LO and Ameera was next to me. Um, and the two people that were like signing up, one of them like knew who I was and gave me money for Coin Craze. And then the other one was like, you probably don't know who I am, but you helped my sister out when it came for a convention and I helped them figure out how to like register and all of that sort of stuff. And it's crazy to think about like the impact that I had made on someone else just by doing like this small little thing. And I think like that was one of the best things, just seeing what an impact that I was able to have and what an influence and really seeing that sort of a thing because I didn't really think about that before, but it's super crazy. And Olivia, you'll get to experience it all and you'll maybe have a different thing that was your favorite part. But I hope that you enjoy it all.
It's really nice to hear. Like, it's really nice. Ooh, Amira, what advice, like, what advice would you give to other CoCos or secretaries on taking minutes? I'm like, ooh, it's a question.
I went and I picked this up because it's like sitting in my
I
room.
have mine
This is
too. Wait, mine's right
so
here. They're
our
gifts from our
mentor.
mentor. Mine's right.
So I don't know if this might be like reversed or maybe that's just on my screen, but it's
No, it works. I
Gina's
can.
Guide to Minute Taking. I got this as a gift from my mentor Chris, and it has some good advice on like, especially like if you're confused about like when to take notes on motions and that sort of thing. Um, there's a lot about that. How to like make an agenda and like how you can do a formatting of your minutes. To be honest, like I feel like the cool thing about minutes is they're kind of like different for everyone. Even going through like the CoCo Drive, we all kind of take minutes in different styles. So like the first thing is just like finding something that works for you. Like everyone has like a font that they're really comfortable with, or if you like bullet points or you like making. I know people make those tables and they have their agenda and their items. People might like. I know Reese did a lot of like headers in hers, and so there's like a lot of different ways that you can take minutes. And so just like finding something you're like super comfortable with. Like for me, I love Times New Roman. All my minutes will be in Times New Roman, and they will have the bullet point and the like the Roman, like the I and the I and the IV. You know, it'll always be like that for me. So like just finding something like that you like take minutes with. Also like typing speed wise, I love monkey type. I will always be on that. So like if you want to, I would say monkey type is really good if you want to like, you know, just improve on a like kind of already fast typing speed. If you're just like, you don't really know how to type yet, like there's a lot of websites that will like teach you how to type, and so it'll go like literally key by key and like help you figure out where to put your hands and stuff like that. So definitely improve typing speed. If you're in the CoCo group me, I think I sent stuff for my colloquium. I did a lot about like different keyboard shortcuts because that's like what I found, like once you have like a base level good typing speed, the next thing is just like the less that you have to touch your trackpad, the better, the smoother your meeting will go, because you can just kind of like jump around your minutes and stuff. Sometimes people want to go back and add on something that somebody else already said and you want to put it under their comment, or like you need to go check something else. Other tips, write down like the time that things happen.
Yes.
That's really helpful, like especially if they're in the future trying to like cut down on certain things, like they'll know how long did this agenda item take. I know Boo did like a lot of this on her own about like checking like each item in GA, like did it fulfill the right time frame, but if she ever misses anything then like it's in the notes. I like something I did on the California level and then brought it to the national level is like a post meeting to do list. So like people will say stuff throughout the meeting like, oh, I want to do this next, and then it gets like buried in the minutes. So I move them all to the top and then put like each person and like what they should be doing next. So that's helpful, because the other thing is like, when you send it out to the board and the meetings are like meeting minutes are like 20 pages long, like nobody wants to read through all of that, but it's like simpler if they just have something to like look at. I don't know, just have fun with it. I like to also record the meetings. Like like on Zoom, you can record them here. Sometimes I use my voice memo. I know the GAs were all live streamed, so I could actually go back, and if I missed a name or something, go and get their name. That's like helpful. I just have this core memory of one time during a board meeting, I was like outside because all the buildings at my school like got locked or something, and it was like I had something at a certain time, and then I didn't have enough time to go home before the meeting, so I was like sitting outside, and it was like so cold, and my hands were like freezing as I was trying to type, and I was like, this is like not good at all. But I was like reassured because like, oh, there's a recording, so I can like kind of listen in and take some notes. Like my freezing hands will take like a couple notes and stuff. But it's like always kind of reassuring to have that. To even if you never even open the recording, it's nice to like have it to fall back on. It just like takes off the pressure. Like the most anxiety inducing part of the minutes is like, oh no, can you please go back and repeat that? So just like the more calm you can be, the more you can enjoy the wonderful minute taking experience. Voila.
The monkey type thing is so real. Oh my gosh. I like whenever I'm studying for anything like school,
Mm-hmm.
grammar, I don't know, whatever, but like I take breaks by going to monkey type and I just like I just type. Like it's so much fun.
Yeah. I
I
may or
love,
may not have done one round of monkey type from the GA stage because I
right?
was bored. I did my minutes for GA because I had the podium book like the night before because I couldn't sleep. And then on the GA day, I didn't want to look like I wasn't doing anything, so I pulled up monkey type and was just like looking like I was typing something really important.
Yo, I see you guys with the laptops and I'm like someone is 100% playing like cool math games up there.
No
Like
games, no games, just monkey type in minutes, I promise.
fuck
Somebody
it.
did ask me, they saw me celebrating, and I was like, no, I wasn't celebrating like my video game on my computer, guys. I was just celebrating like somebody that I knew that won an award. But somebody once asked me if I played video games on stage, and I was like, no, I don't. Just monkey type every so often.
I don't know if I'd be able to restrain myself, so you're a very strong set of soldiers.
Locked in.
Olivia, what made you decide to run for president this year, and what is the main reason why you continue to be so involved in the JCL community, would you say?
Mm. Yeah, so the JCL and NJCL is the first big community that I've joined in my life, I would say. And throughout my time here, and especially last year as editor, I've really had a great time getting to meet everyone and getting kind of to lead the JCL in a way. And so a president was a natural move for me, to wanting to continue to lead this organization on kind of a larger scale, and also just seeing the amazing accomplishments that Reesey was able to make that also inspired me to run for this position. And the core reason why I always come back to the JCL and NJCL community is because of the JCLers, seeing the so many of them and seeing how what they are able to accomplish and the different interests that they have within the wide field of classics really inspires me to kind of continue my track and to lead this big organization. Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, Kai, there's like a compound question. What suggestions do you have for new state parliamentarians who may not have as much experience with national stuff? And what advice would you give to future NJCL parleys?
Okay, so for state parliamentarians specifically who don't know much about NJCL stuff, I was kind of in the same boat as y'all. My first nom-com was like ever was the one I had to attend because I was state parley and I was going as a voting delegate to NJCL. So I like that the whole like 2023 slew of like nom-com amendments. Like I'd never been to a nom-com before, so I didn't know what it was talking about. And then I walk into that first nom-com, I'm super nervous, but oh wait, hold on a moment. I'm at 10% battery.
God, no.
Gotta plug my phone in. Um okay. So
Ooh.
in a more horizontal sense, so I have so my first nom-com was that nom-com, and I guess my advice is just like um become if once you're kind of more familiar with the more formal Robert's rules language, then it's really not that scary at all. Like once you kind of understand the premise and what like specific Robert's rules language is going on, um it's really chill. And then like Amencom and candidates open forum, meet the candidates, all of that. I'll say meet the candidates in open forum are just a lot more fun events. So if you're kind of a state party going to NJCL for the first time, just try to have fun there. Meet the can like one thing I did that I think I did badly is I hand wrote notes about all the candidates when I was state party because we made a whole like slideshow for our voting fellowship when we discussed the candidates. But like the more recent TSJCO parties have been very locked in. They've been like like speed typing notes. Like maybe they are on monkey type all the time too. Like I'm a slow typer, so I don't know if I could do that. But just find a way you can take notes really fast. And also the candidates hub is awesome on the NJCL website RAP, which has information about all the candidates in case you miss anything. And then advice for future NJCL parleys. Um, let's see. Okay, so I think my biggest piece of advice and something that I wish I knew when I started is to whenever you're thinking up something, start it much earlier in anticipation than when you actually want to follow it through. Because in NJCL, unlike state JCLs, you kind of have to go through a lot of hoops a lot of the time. Like sometimes people have to approve stuff, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Things have to be edited and revised and whatnot. And so if you can just get the ball rolling as soon as possible, then you'll be a lot more successful in your endeavors.
Makes a lot of sense. Ooh, Reese, what what are your opinions on the marriage of VJCL and Georgia JCL?
Okay, so fun fact, I was at the original marriage, the very first one at Emory Convention, and I still have it on my phone. I sound really old. Um, this was when I was VJCL secretary, and it was so fun to be there. We sang, or the my fellow officers sang Peaches, because we that's when we had like Peach for the Stars that year, and so very Mario themed, and we had a marriage contract. I don't know if Virginia still has it. And we gave them peach rings,
Oh,
and then the following day I think was Peach for the Stars. So we sang, or one of our chants was Peaches, and we were saying to Georgia, and so we sang to Georgia
oh,
from
so
where we
cute.
were. Um, I think that that's really fun. I think that it's entertaining that it keeps getting renewed every year. Like, and it always makes me feel a little old because I'm like, oh, I was there at the very first one. Um, I think it's really cute. I think that it shows our JC love, and it's like kind of nice that the big states are coming together. I would love a DMV marriage. I think that would also be
That would
fun.
be great.
But yeah, I think Virginia and Georgia, in my opinion, it was fun. It was really entertaining, and it was like, I don't know. I remember we kept trying to have to like figure out when to meet up with Georgia, and so that was like really fun because they had no clue it was happening. But yeah.
So cute. I love all the like combined state bit things like Calabama. I love seeing it. It's
Alabama,
cool.
North Carolina
North,
was
North
one this year.
they're like
Arizona, I
it's
think.
North. They wanted North Navona. Like I heard about this in the interview. They wanted North Navona, and what they got was North Caravazona, and they were like sad about that. So just that happened. Amira, did you? Oh wait, no. Am I on number three? Yes, I
We're
am.
yeah, we're
Well,
yeah.
I can do this, guys. What advice would you give to other CoCos or secretaries on taking minutes?
Oh no, we are on number 4 actually.
Wait, yeah,
Wait.
we did do
Yeah,
that.
I did answer that one. Yeah.
My
Guys,
bad,
we're still
guys. It's
still
the sleep. Did you have a lot of prior experience with taking minutes outside of the JCL before you were elected CoCo?
I would say like okay, so before I was elected CoCo, I was CAJCL secretary. That was like my main minutes experience, and I like these minutes on the CAJCL level were like low key insane level of quality of minutes. Um, my mentor on the CAJCL board used to be the NJCL CoCo mentor. It's Miss Vasquez. Shout out. She's been to like 38 conventions or something insane. Um, and she's like, yeah, she's super locked in on minutes. Like that was probably like the biggest thing I did as CAJCL secretary was just like perfect these minutes so much. So like that was like really helpful because she knew like everything there was to know about minutes and like everything that went into it. And so then when I was elected as CoCo, I didn't have to do anything like extra. I literally just like asked Chris if I could just continue the same format of minutes, and he was like, "Yeah, you're chill, just do that." And so that was the main experience before. So before CoCo, before secretary, a lot of my experience that I used to run for CAJCL secretary was like in terms of JCL experience at my middle school chapter, I didn't ever hold the position of secretary. I was first VP in 6th grade, and then in 7th and 8th grade, I was like consul slash president of the middle school chapter. 9th grade of my high school year, we did not have officer roles at the high school, so I low-key went from like my middle school chapter president to CAJCL secretary. So a lot of the experience I used like was from outside of JCL for like secretarial stuff, and it involved my like student council experience. So I'd done a lot like of helping with student council meetings, taking notes at student council meetings, organizing different events. I helped run like a bell schedule for my middle school. I actually still help run it, like an online bell schedule. So I was like, oh, like I do have some experience with this. But most of the minute taking stuff is like you kind of have to be like in a secretary role for it. And it like kind of just depends on what that secretary role demands. And so I was lucky in that like the CAJCL secretary role just demanded a lot of like excellent minute taking skills. And so then it didn't feel like I had to learn anything new.
That is really convenient, yeah. Like the
Yeah,
quality remains very high. That's good.
yeah.
Olivia, what advice would you give future NJCL editors?
Mm. For the torches, I would say to map out your schedule of when you're sending out the submission forms and when you are actually writing your stuff and just laying out the torch because you do have specific deadlines that you need to set in like your drafts for copy edits and deadlines for when you need to publish each torch. And so kind of knowing when you need stuff by, that's very helpful. And also for submissions in general for getting submissions, I would also say has a wide net. So that's just sending submissions out on Instagram through email, sending emails to each state offices, even though state offices might get a bit annoyed at you at times, but I would still say it's very helpful to send out emails to individuals and to send out messages on GroupMe. And yeah.
Communication. Woohoo! Staying in touch. Okay, back to Kai. Ooh, this is a good one. Were you happy with the really large pool of candidates this year? And why do you think we had so many candidates this year compared to others?
Um, yeah, I was really happy that we got so many candidates, and my kind of conspiracy theory about why we had so many candidates is just kind of based um I think it's based on like I guess the individual talent pools within each JCL state, and I feel like we had especially a lot of qualified people this year, and obviously it kind of like spikes here more than others. Like we had four candidates for CoCo, but only one for like first vice president and whatnot. And so I just think maybe that's just how more of the JCLers were inclined, and also not to glaze y'all too much, but I when I went back and watched these ILJCL podcasts, so many of the candidates that actually ended up running were also on these. So I don't know what order of events they were, but I think like just keeping people really involved in the JCL and like cultivating that interest over time, I guess.
Shout out ILJCL pod.
This is the origin story.
I think I have a couple thoughts on how that may have influenced it. Couple thoughts. But anyways, Reese, what was your favorite moment? What is your favorite moment from this year's national convention?
Ooh, this is probably not a lot of people's favorites. But I think it had to have been GA1 because everything had kind of culminated in that moment where I got to stand at the podium and hold the gavel and you got to look out and really there's something so special about when you get to see all of the JCLers from where we get to stand and sit. And none of us knew what the rest of the week was going to hold. Like there were so many amazing things that we were preparing for and welcoming for and um on the plane ride there, I had written cards for a lot of people, for the officers, for the mentors, but just like JCLers and states and stuff like that. And I think I was in a very like grateful mood, a mood of gratitude, and just like seeing all of that, getting the honor of welcoming everyone there, and like all of that. I think that was truly a favorite moment. And then one that I really didn't expect the last day, or I think like after I got a message from somebody who told me that one of the reasons why they ran was because of me when I was CoCo, and that was like one of the craziest things. Like I never you that's the craziest thing. Like you're sitting up there and you never realize, and I think, at the very end, especially because Kai and I are going to college, like they're very reflective
Go
mood.
UIUC.
You
Eh.
don't realize like we looked up to people. Like we said earlier, like I looked up to Monet, Jenny, all of these people, Trisha, and Felix, but like we could be that to somebody. And that was like such a crazy way to end my NJCL experience of like I never thought that I would be that for somebody, but I was. So yeah, GA1, crazy hot take, I guess. And then just like after convention, learning that was probably some of my favorite memories.
Amira, we've heard that the CoCo doesn't have that much control over the website. Can you describe this is a really good question. Can you describe your experience with this? Very curious.
Okay. Um, yeah, so I would say like I was kind of like, yeah, in a weird position where I couldn't directly edit it, which is in some ways good, in some ways bad. Like it's good because I had like zero webmaster experience going into CoCo. Like I besides running my middle school bell schedule, like I didn't have any direct coding experience. I'm literally next year as a senior taking the easiest CS course in my school so I can graduate. Um, so I had like very limited like in terms of like website coding. Like I made a website for my campaign. Like I knew some design stuff, but I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to just like edit the NJCL website directly. It is in some other ways like frustrating because I'm like, I just want to go in and just change it. Like, let me change it. I think at some point we ended up with like 4 months of backlog of website updates. Just because like they kept adding more and like maybe it's like it's partially on me like not following up as much, but it is like sometimes like oh I just like I could just go in and change it. Like I know it needs to be changed. I think the other thing like that kind of led to kind of this lack of updates is knowing that the next website was already being created. So then at some point it was just like I have a bunch of like archive stuff and things that like for example I think it took a while for us to get the Classicalia info like written, and so then it would have been posted after Classicalia. So I was like, oh, there's no rush on this, and so it's kind of like if they're creating a new website anyways, like this info can go onto the new website if needed, or we're kind of like starting from a new slate. So that was kind of I was in this weird transition period between old website, old updates, new updates. I didn't. I mean, it wasn't like too frustrating. I think we have other ways of like getting communication out there. There's like a sponsor newsletter. There's the Instagram, and so like I did my best to try to update the website on time and stuff. But other times it does kind of get a little bit outdated. But I'm looking forward to the new website. I do want to see it. I'm excited because it's been I think years in the waiting. So I think we're all like in anticipation. I will be there like early in the morning on September 1st to go look at. at the brand new website. I'm hoping everything goes smoothly, and I will still be around to like make sure whatever I had from last year that I wanted to get on the website does get on this year. I like changed some stuff with the archives. That was like a big thing, is that they were all in this weird like, it's called like, I don't know if it's like Dropbox or like, I don't know, it was some like non Google Drive folder, and I like transferred them all out of there because it was like just annoying. So I'm just trying to like get everything into a place. Like, for example, it's nice when the archives are linked to a folder, because then you don't need to update the website to get them in the archives. Then the CoCo can just go to their Google Drive and update their folder.
Right.
Smart thinking.
Yeah, all the contests are on freaking like Box or something.
Also, did you want me to answer the question above that about my advice for future NJCL CoCos?
I think
Oh yeah.
you
Oh yeah.
I do have some advice. Wait, I don't know if
Please.
I answered that one
Wait, I think you like did.
a little bit. I thought I answered the minute taking one.
Go for it.
I'm gonna go for it. I have just a small tidbit of advice that I found from being CoCo, and that I think like the CoCo role, outside of like your mandatory stuff, like there's a website contest, there's minutes, like there's like, it's kind of like a side quest role. That's like how I would describe it. Like you can low-key go on a side quest and do what you want. But the thing I found that I would want to like plan better, especially as a junior on the board, is like making sure I had like a schedule for my side quests, because all my side quests have gotten like halfway done, and then like I just pass them on to the next person. But I would love to finish like some of them completely. And so like I was like designing a new monthly contest, and I was well, this I think will get published, but the non-convention contest guides, like all of that. And I was low-key just vibing every month. I would like choose something to work on, and they were all like out of order. And so I think like definitely for CoCo, if you want to take on like a bigger project on your side questing time, like plan out like when you want to do it, because I kept thinking I would have more time later on in the year, and like especially as a junior that is not true at all. You just get more busy. And so I was like, I would say like, you know, try to like set your own deadlines. Like I was hearing Olivia talk about like the torch and stuff, and I think like the reason that like that's such a success is because you have like very good deadline setting for the torch, and like you can like get, you know, want to get stuff done. So I would love to see like more of that in the CoCo realm, because it's not like, it's a lot of like self-driven projects outside of your mandatory duties. So like I would say just set like a lot of deadlines for yourself, but like, okay, this month I'm gonna get this one thing done, instead of trying to work on like everything a little bit. Like I think that was one of the biggest mistakes I made, was trying to like do everything, and then it all got like halfway to the finish line and then like got dropped. So try to just bring something all the way to the finish line, and then it's easier to pace yourself that way.
Right. I feel like time management is definitely a really important skill to have up there.
Yeah, for
Sure.
sure, because you can get carried away doing like random stuff, and make sure like you have an end goal in sight.
Right. Okay. Speaking of end goals and projects, Olivia, do you have any spoilers about the fall torch?
The fall torch, it's going to be very heartfelt, and it will bring all of you guys back to a convention. Even it might make you guys cry a bit, but yeah, but it's going to be fun, and it's basically all of convention, so it will include all of the usual, the results and stuff, and yeah, look forward to that. It will be coming out next month. Yeah.
Exciting, exciting, exciting. Okay. Back up, and I won't skip anyone any questions this time, guys. Oh, this one, this is easy. Do you wish that more states were interested in running for office, and what thoughts do you have on increasing interest?
Is this for me?
Yes. Ooh,
Running
nice.
for office.
Okay, awesome. So, thoughts about increasing states running for office. I think one of the biggest things is seeing somebody from your state up there represented, kind of just on the stage, whether you're an officer, whether you're speaking. Especially as an officer, though, just seeing that, like, someone who you can look up to, someone who someone who really represents you. I think as we sort of have these kind of more states mingling together and like crossing over and lapping over more and more, I think that we will see, kind of more connections to the people on board. Like, even if, it, like, I guess to use Calabama as an example, like if you have kind of one officer that, yeah, you're from California, but you're also like spending a lot of time with like people from Alabama at convention and really representing them. I think that will like trickle down that way. So that's just something I was thinking about. But yeah.
That's a really that's a good thought, because like seeing someone you know or someone you're adjacent with makes it seem very possible, I think.
Like that's what made me run in the first place. So I'm just kind of spitballing from my own personal
No,
experience.
I agree too because like that was similar for me and even like from the state perspective, like I ran in my freshman year and since then we've had someone from our school continually run because I think they're able to see it and then they want to do it too. So, um seeing it or just I think knowing that you can run, it's super fun and I highly recommend it for anyone.
Definitely.
Guys, I know I'm not Parli anymore, but if you're watching this and you're thinking about it, run
Do
for
it.
NJCL office.
Do it.
It's awesome. Okay, that's probably the last time I'll ever say that.
Just have fun. Ameera, your farewell speech was about birthdays. Ooh, this is cute. I remember this one.
Wait, we skipped Reesey.
Did we?
Yeah.
Hey guys,
All right, girl.
it's okay. It's like
Okay, I also have to change out my AirPods because they're like actively dying. So I'm gonna be a mute for a second.
Yeah, I literally put my laptop on charge before this because it almost died on the last interview I did, and that was stressful, fun, all the above. Reese, are you excited to be? Oh, this is great. At SCL Histo, and what ideas do you have for TE and other SCL things next year?
Guys, I'm so excited to be in SCL Histo. That was like crazy. This is a crazy experience that I'm on. Yeah, I have a lot of ideas. Something that the Histo does is plan a banquet, and you get to pick a theme for your banquet, and it's super secretive and all that sort of stuff. But I met with my mentors because we also get mentors, and I met with them the other day, and I was pitching my banquet themes, and I'm really, really excited for the banquet. I got some fun little thoughts that I'm thinking up, and then TE, I don't have any thoughts. Actually, I have one thought that I really wanted to do for the William and Mary intro video. So maybe that'll be a TE idea next year.
Exciting.
But I guess we'll have to wait and see. But yeah,
So suspenseful.
I know, so suspenseful, so ominous. Y'all should join SCL and come to our banquet to find out, guys.
Omnipotent, omnipresent, omniscient, etc., etc. Guys, I feel like I'm losing my marbles reading these questions. Okay.
You're doing fantastic. You're doing absolutely
No, this
fantastic.
is going so well. I love this.
Marbles? Okay, Ameera, your farewell speech was about birthdays. Why is this so important to you? And oh, this is gonna be so cute. Can you describe why your JCL friendships matter to you so much?
Oh yes. Okay. Wait. This was such a good because I was thinking about like what to write for my farewell speech, and they like wanted to share an anecdote, and that's like something that stood out to me because like it's really hard to like quantify or symbolize like JCL friendships. Like you can't like describe. It seems like almost undescribable, right? But like something that stuck out to me was like a lot of people like I'm not a big birthday person. Like I'm literally still planning my birthday from June. Like I need to get on that. Like my birthday party. Yeah. Like I kind of have a weird timing of my birthday because I'm not in school. A lot of people like on vacation, and so like I can't go to school and like tell people, oh, it's my birthday. So I'm low-key just like chilling, and not doing much that day. So I was like so surprised that like I posted something about my birthday, and I woke up to two texts from the NJCL officer group chat of my birthday, and I was like, oh my god, these people are so sweet. And like I didn't even know some of the JCLers that were following me on Instagram very well, but they were still like they like can swipe up on the story and say like happy birthday, and I was like, oh, that's so like I feel like that represents really well like about the JCL, about like it doesn't like matter who the other JCLer is, like even if you know them, even if you don't, like the fact that we're all in the JCL makes us really bonded to each other, and we'll always go to bat for the other JCLers. Like when I was posting stuff on Instagram for like my student council campaign, somebody followed me and was like, oh, I saw your video like on my For You page or something.
I saw your video on my For You page.
Somebody was like, I saw your video on my For You page, and I clicked on your profile, and I was like, oh, this, and she was like, oh, this guy is so cool, and
I turned to Sarah and I said, that is the most employed kid.
like this person I didn't even know was like, oh, I figured you're so cool because you're in the JCL, and I was in the JCL when I was in high school too. And I was like, oh, that's so sweet. And so like we're really like all like there for each other. Like I've dealt with a lot of like toxic friend groups. Like I go to a Bay Area high school that's pretty competitive, right? So I've had my fair share of people that really do not have your back. But I've never felt that way in the JCL. Like I feel like everyone there is very sincere about like how much we mean to each other, and how much like we're always there for each other, even if we're like have nothing in common besides the fact that we're in the JCL. So I figured like that was a good way to do my like farewell speech, was like with that thing in mind, and I kind of wanted to like start a tradition of people like doing that for each other because it meant a lot to me. Like And now I'm like, oh, like so many people out there now have my birthday. I'm so looking forward to my birthday next year. Usually I don't really do much on the day of my birthday, but now I'm like, oh, maybe I'll get a lot of text messages. And I have so far sent maybe like, I think like maybe 3 to 4 people have come up in the last couple weeks since convention ended, that I have in my calendar of like their birthdays. Because after my farewell speech ended, like a bunch of people came up to me about my farewell speech, and I was like, if you give me your like phone number and you put in like your contact name, I will add your birthday to my contacts. And I managed to set up the calendar reminders right, and so now I get like a little reminder, and like I'm trying to get as many as possible. So I don't know if I like should publicly leak my phone number here, but you can probably find me online somewhere. Like my handle is just my full name on Instagram if you have that. If you like DM me, then I'll send you my phone number, and then we can trade like birthdays and stuff. And I love this like just like reaching out to JCLers. If you're a JCLer and you see it's somebody's birthday on their Instagram story, like swipe up, say something. I think it's just like a really small way to like keep the JCL friendship alive throughout the year. I enjoy it a lot, because it's like such a small task too, and it can really mean a lot to somebody. So I'm like trying to make sure everyone feels that way, right? And that's why I love the JCL. It's just so awesome. Like even outside of what convention, like we're always there for each other. So yeah, my birthday is June 10th. If you have my contact, come contact me, and also send me your birthday and your phone number, and I'll send you a little text message on your birthday.
Oh, I'll clip that and put it on the story.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure, for
Somebody
sure.
send that to somebody.
Yeah, I feel
Tag
like
me, I don't know where, but
I feel like with like randoms, it's kind of weird to respond to someone's Instagram note, but when I see like JCL Instagram notes, I'm like, yes, I agree.
yes,
You know,
absolutely, yes.
like
I love
it's
it. Like
great.
yeah, best tradition. I hope to maybe make it a thing from now on. If you ever meet somebody at JCL, get their phone number and their birthday. Like when you exchange contacts or whatever, like there's a place to put their birthday in your contacts. So just do it. Just ask them for it.
Oh yeah.
Smart.
Olivia, have you looked at previous year's torches, and if so, which one was the most interesting?
Oh, yes, I have. I really, just in general, for Felix's torches, I really love his design in general with shapes, especially for the Officer voices. I don't know, he always finds some way to come up with a creative design for that. But I think in his green torch, he included one of the this what that. He included an Odyssey versus Aeneid question, and I just thought it was so foreseen because this year the Odyssey movie came out and he included that last year, which was just great, I think. And also another article that I thought was interesting was from, I think, Jenny's Torch. She included an article about misconceptions in the Roman society, and I just remember reading like something about the vomitorium, I think, and whereas people thought that it meant like vomit because it sounds like that, it was actually like an exit for like the Colosseum, I think, that led out to the streets. Yeah, that was interesting.
Super duper cool. And then there's another one for you. What are your goals for the new board this year,
Ooh,
broadly?
yeah. So I think similar to what I said in my campaign, I would like to provide JCLers with more fun activities, whether that's on Zooms, like game nights, which will happen next month, or just any exciting events on the Instagram. And I think this year we have one upcoming event, the Odyssey Day. It's going to be in October, and it will be just hopefully some fun events that you guys can engage in, and just transparency and communication with the JCL and within the NJCL board and committee. Yeah.
Exciting, exciting, exciting. Okay, now we get to, I think, everyone's favorite part, funny questions.
Yay.
Okay, I am definitely gonna ask first up, in a zombie apocalypse, which one of you would die first? And you can mention members of your board who are not presently.
Die first.
I think Ameera would
What?
die first.
The shade, the shade.
Oh, I probably would, guys. I have very little.
But I feel
support.
like you would like try to talk to them. I feel like you would
Oh, yeah.
be like lost in like good conversation with them.
Yeah, we were trying to play Mario.
Brains, like locked in.
I feel like Olivia, you seem like too nice to kill a zombie. Like,
No, I would just hide. I'll be hiding in the corner and no one will find me.
Mhm.
Like Claudius, like behind the.
Oh yeah, Claudia's behind the curtain.
Exactly.
It's me, it's me.
yeah, I'm not
Exactly.
sure how well any of us would do against the zombie.
Yeah,
I
who would
still
survive
do
the
well,
best?
though. Wait,
Who would
Stella,
survive the
well,
best?
She's from New York City, and like New York is like,
Oh,
I'm scared of New York, but like,
Yeah.
Stella's got that like.
Of course you think that you're from the Bay Area.
She looked like she could like take on a zombie apocalypse.
She's also she's also the tallest of all of
Yeah,
us, right?
she's tall. She's from New York. She's got the Knicks basketball skills. You know. It's just,
Totally take a zombie is
Right.
the conclusion.
yeah.
Ooh, I got one more. I got a couple more, but if you guys gotta go, it's okay. A couple
No,
of
I'm
them.
chilling.
Okay, great.
Well,
What is the worst possible singular item one could forget to bring to convention? Like the worst item to forget.
Oh.
Your like water bottle or something? Oh my
No,
God.
not like stuff you could buy from a convenience store. Like what is the worst item you could forget to bring?
Like if they didn't provide bed sheets and you forgot to bring bed sheets, you'd be a little.
That
pushed.
was me at
What?
Miami. No, because I thought they were so on my blanket was like a towel, and then like thankfully brought a pillow on the airplane, and so I was able to use that, and so yeah, my sleep schedule was a bit cooked that year though.
Wait, yeah, I brought sheets for the banquet, but I didn't know that we had to bring like normal sheets. And like there weren't sheets. So I just used my banquet one
Oh
as my
no,
bed sheet, and then I just kind of pulled up with the same thing to the banquet and hoped it didn't smell funny.
I did bring a top sheet for the toga, so that was helpful. But my blanket was still. I do remember my blanket being a towel.
Yeah, that's rough.
Holy
Yeah, I would say
moly.
that. Or good shoes. Like you do need good
Shoes.
shoes.
Yeah.
Oh, I had to wear all cheese shoes.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, you
no,
had
no,
these
right.
shoes,
I
and they
totally
were so tall, and you're so
Yeah.
happy in your little shoes.
Oh, I still remember this. Yeah, I mean, honestly, everything's replaceable. You
I
can
feel like it's an eye mask.
No.
Everything's replaceable.
No.
Ameera.
Robert's Rules of
like
Order.
you can get shoes.
If you forget
like,
that.
like nothing you forget to bring is like the end of the world. Unless you forget to bring like yourself or something, then you're kind of doomed. But like
If you
everything-
forget your Robert's Rules, it's over.
yeah, like that's gonna be hard to replace. Like shoes, you could probably get like a bed sheet.
Isn't there Robert's Rules online? I looked at it.
Oh,
And
yeah.
No, but like you need the like
online
authentic
book.
like paper book. You
Like
know?
the-
you,
it's like
like
the-
flip through it.
It's like Alan and Greenup.
No,
You
I
kind of like need the book.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I feel
it's like-
oh, if I forgot my laptop for minutes, I think I'd low-key be doomed. Like I would just be sitting there on my phone typing them.
Yo, I think it's an eye mask because like no shade to anybody, but my roommate was a certain someone who was up very late doing certain things for a certain project. Lots of love, lots of love. I assisted, but when I tell you it was 1:30 a.m., we're over here, the lights on, we're doing some speech, and I need an eye mask.
Last at Miami, I woke up and I was rooming with like two like I think middle schoolers, younger. I don't know. They were like younger high schoolers from my school. I don't know why I got put with them. I don't even know how that happened. But I woke up and I was in a triple too. And this like when I was running for convention, so or for office, and it was like low key, like I was like dying. And I woke up at like 2 a.m. and they were playing like Five Nights at Freddy or some horror video game in the corner, and like the two of them were like whispering over the computer, and they were like doing like whisper screams, and like because they were like scared of the
Sleep
door.
paralysis demon, oh my gosh.
I thought I was like hallucinating. I was like, I've lost it. I've lost my mind. This is it. Like, so yeah, I can definitely see how an eye mask could have been helpful. Like, it wasn't very bright. It was just like maybe some earplugs or something. Because I was like, I didn't expect to wake up to that. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I was chilling this year. We got singles. I was like so happy. I mean,
Yes,
not that any of the
it's
board
great.
members would be playing video games at like 2 a.m. But like I was like, I think this was a chiller year because it's like, yeah, you kind of just do your own thing.
Okay, I think I have two more that should definitely be asked, and then we can probably wrap up.
Yeah.
Number one, how often does your board think about William Zhao?
Rather often.
I think it differs by officers. Like we had a time where like Kai and Stella were really had like a long chat
For
about
common people.
William at fall planning. But like yeah, I think it depends per officer.
Yeah, I knew of William Zhao like the year he graduated. So like I saw him at Miami and then that was it. So like all I hear about him are like the legends basically. Like I've never had a conversation with him. So he's kind of just this like great figure in the world of JCL.
Are you guys familiar with Dante Minutilla?
Yes.
He follows me on Instagram. This is like
No way, he doesn't follow me.
my greatest flex as a JCLer who takes tests. Like, anyways.
I will
So
say,
many JCL
like,
legends.
during the week, like William Zhao was just like watching the live streams and he was just like texting me, like he was giving our team like all these like pointers and whatnot. It was just it was crazy. It was a
Hey,
crazy
why was he not
experience.
giving? What about the underdogs, bro? Why are we
Out of
like?
state.
Yeah,
Yeah.
his own state, yo.
What is he doing?
Giving
Maybe we'll cut
Texas
out the William Zhao slander.
giving Texas JCL Cartama tips.
It's gonna be like a breaking news headline.
I
William
agree.
Zhao betrays his state by giving Texas Kurtaman advice.
Wait, I'll ask after. Okay, here's a fun one. Favorite hobby, and then I'm gonna stop the recording.
Talking.
I like to sing. That's my hobby. I do a lot of like random singing, and I have a ukulele, so sometimes I'll play that. But yeah, that's my hobby.
Toxic gossip train.
Reese, if you ever get canceled.
At least you have a
Oh,
ukulele.
not.
But yeah, I love yapping. But like besides that, like for real, I do like cooking. I've been doing some cooking this summer, and last summer, and I try to do well. I kind of like stopped after convention because I got busy, but I try to do like one, like over the summer, like one meal per week, like that I plan fully, and try to like challenge myself, like make it something that's not like super easy to make, right? Like something. I like
Prepping for college.
Yeah, it was actually that's how it started. My brother was supposed to be prepping for college, and I just did it with him. And then I just kept doing it. He stopped doing it, so I don't know what that means. But once I made falafels from scratch, and that I was super proud of. It like it literally
Super
took my
cool.
blood,
Wow.
sweat, and tears because I was like blending these like chickpeas for like forever. They wouldn't blend. Anyways, but it worked. It actually tasted pretty good.
I will be using DoorDash, but I admire your tenacity.
I like it though because like I cook for Mother's Day and things like that, so it's like it's fun. Like if you know how to cook. I know how to cook, and that like if there's a recipe, I know how to cook. So
Super
Yeah.
cool. Olivia?
Yeah, sure. I play the flute, but I've gotten
You
into
do?
rowing. Yeah, what? How do you do that?
Did we figure this out? Sorry, I'm like I
Yeah, Olivia's a flautist, and then she does your dragon.
Yeah, my dragon
Oh,
voting.
yeah. I know that. I forgot. I was playing the flute up until like this year. I quit.
Oh, and then you quit?
Yeah. Well, I probably still know
Terrible.
how to play. I just quit like lessons and stuff. But
I
yeah.
quit orchestra freshman year. Best
Ooh,
decision in high
what do
school.
you play?
What did you play, Kai?
I played cello. I was
Oh.
not good. But currently I'm like getting more back into like playing guitar, which I think is really fun. And then also just going for these like really long walks to like random streets I've
love
never been on
walks.
before. That's been taking up a lot of my time. So
Hey,
I've enjoyed it.
it's super fun. It's really chill. Okay, wait. I am gonna end the recording, and then I have like one more question.
Bye, podcast.
My podcast.
Bye.